Welcome to the Mouth Breathing Podcast. I'm your host, TJ. Today, I'm joined by the world-renowned Andy Kiecker. Did I say that right?
No, I thought you'd know it by now. Say it again.
Well, I just have you in my phone as Kicker because you're pretty good at kicking.
Yeah, fair enough. Kiecker. Usually I just get called a Jewish slur. Usually call me Kike. Yeah, Kiecker.
Well, that works too.
Kind of like it better.
So you were just telling me you're a host of a podcast, or you were?
No, I wasn't the host. There was one of the hosts where they both, I don't know, the main guy that set it up invited me on. Most of the time there were guys at Elk River. But they told me that I should come on because the other guy's inconsistent, so I just turned into the co-host. So I guess I kind of was, but not really. I didn't have any control, really.
Is that a martial arts one? Or
it was like a UFC recap that turned into like QAnon, conspiracy theories. It pretty much turned from like we would start the podcast into like talking about, you know, John Jones is this. Oh, UFC 300 is coming up. It's going to look great. And then by the end, we were going like full, like right wing, like Civil War, Alex Jones type stuff.
Well, what do you think is the most interesting conspiracy theory
for me
that you guys talked about?
Oh my gosh. The dude, if you haven't met this dude before, his name's Joe. You just got to watch it. It's called the Cauliflower Ear Podcast. I hate the podcast name. I didn't choose it, but he would say some outlandish stuff.
You've got some nice cauliflower ear.
Yeah, I was like the only one on that podcast that had cauliflower ear. That's why I thought it was ironic. I mean, you know, I didn't make the name.
Maybe that's why they wanted you to host it.
Yeah, they needed a face to it.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. What were you saying? Conspiracy theory?
I'd have to think, but Joe, we call him Joe Jitsu. Or Joe Rogan, or that's what it turned into too. Whatever you saw in the Joe Rogan Experience the week before, it would be a recap of that too.
I'm pretty good at recapping that too.
Yeah, so I didn't watch too much Joe Rogan, so it was fun for me to kind of get in there. But what was a good theory of him?
Something with the Civil War.
Oh, he would just talk about how the Civil War is coming all the time.
Oh,
and how the liberal media is inciting it. and how you know, I'd say the one, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know if you plan on getting banned or something.
Want. As long as you just don't get yourself canceled.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
I mean, if you do, we can edit.
So if I ever make it to like the UFC, hopefully I can get canceled. They can dig something up like one of the podcast episodes. So then, you know, Dana White likes that shit. So then he'll just like push me harder, you know, because he just hates that shit. But there's so many conspiracy theories. I mean, that kind of just shows you too, like that I can't think of it. It was just stuff we would start thinking of as we're talking about it. So like we'd be like, oh, you know what? I remember when Alex Jones was talking about the lizard people. That makes a lot of sense now because it would just like fit in. Like there was one time like COVID was, that's kind of when I started getting on there. So like when the lockdown started happening and he was pretty much our like host of it was saying how this is trying to make mass psychosis and that we're going to see a rise of schizophrenic people. And like school shootings were going to happen a lot more, and that's what the liberal media wants. So like a bunch of these people to go out, do crazy shit with guns, hopefully, so that they can take away the guns. That was one theory I remember we got into.
Okay.
So
one time, I've only shot a gun like twice.
Really?
Yeah, and one time it was out of my friend's window, and it was some pistol.
Oh my!
And I don't know what happened, but I just started screaming when I did it. Ah!
Just out the window?
Well, he lives in the country, so it's not like Minneapolis downtown.
Yeah, I forgot you're a hick, right? Where you're from?
I'm an OG hick.
Yeah,
people kind of doubt it sometimes because there's not a lot of half Colombian hicks, but I'm from the sticks.
You're Colombian?
Only half.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, that's a lot. Half Norwegian, half Colombian. Raised by a single white mom, though. So I've only had, like, white upbringing.
Your dad's, like, full Colombian?
My dad's a beaner.
He's a beaner. Trap George the Spick.
Yeah. Is that Zin?
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I have rogues, too, if you...
What is a rogue?
Rogues.
Do I need to pack this? Damn, 9 milligrams?
Yeah.
These are some hitters.
Yeah, they are fucking... Dude, they go up to, like, 12 and 15.
Damn. All right.
My buddy, dude, would take the 15s and pack, like, 4 in his lip.
Seems like a lot of MGs. Do you go up or down?
I'm up. I switch it around.
All
so
right.
I'll go up, down.
Yeah.
Swallow it sometimes when you want it to hit faster.
Are you not supposed to swallow it?
No, you should not swallow a nicotine pouch.
Oh, I thought you meant like the spit. You don't need to spit for this?
No, you don't need to spit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I put in a chew. I was 16 and it was in, Wilmer, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I was in Walmart there. And I didn't know what to expect, so I put way more in. And I just threw up in the aisle in a Walmart. And then we just left. Damn, this is like...
It's a painful one, right?
Like icy hot.
Yeah, dude. It's
Icy hot on my gums.
You got to get through like the first 2 minutes, and then it's kind of like a good mellow there, you know? It kind of mellows out.
Yeah. Sometimes I hit the vape just for a buzz. Some of the guys that work here have a vape. But I stopped hitting that for the last fight, which was good. So...
Dude, I... Like, every now and then, I'll get a vape randomly. Like, it'll start, like, we're like, gonna drink. So I'm like, I want to vape. I hate shoving those in when I'm drinking.
Yeah.
And then, like, I actually don't do these that much. Like, I do, like, I'll take one before training. Helps me, like, shit before I train.
Oh, yeah.
And I like to shit before I train. It just makes me feel... Like, my shits are in the morning before I train, or if I don't train, still in the morning, and then right before I train.
Yeah. Those
all
are
the
optimal times.
I have a consistent schedule for bowel movements. All because of nicotine pouches. They help.
I hear it's good to be regular.
Yeah. You don't want the inconsistent bowel movements. That's when something's wrong. But if they're consistent, you're good. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're like black, though. Sometimes they're green.
Oh, really?
That's usually a sign of not something good, too. But we pushed through. We were fighters, so.
Mitch trains with some Zins in, usually.
While he's training?
While he's training.
What? That dude's wild.
I couldn't do it, but
he does always have one in, though. Like, every time I'm talking to him, he's always... Yeah, I can't train. That sounds terrible.
I think that's how he got his journeyman for being an electrician.
Yeah, it makes sense. He was doing electrical work, like shoving them in his mouth, too, I saw. He's a rogue guy, though.
Is that a different kind of Zin?
Yeah, I got him in my bag, but yeah, he is a rogue guy.
Damn, you got the purple belt, too? Wait,
my belts are in there.
Did you just test for judo?
That's the 23rd.
Are you nervous?
Extremely. So you want to hear something funny, though?
Yeah.
So I've been doing that with the coaches, and all the coaches there, like the 2 brown belts. You know who Hunter is, the black belt judo guy?
Yeah.
So the 2 brown belt there are like super like nerded out with judo. Like they're amazing at like every name. Like it makes me feel like, dude, I'm like, I don't know how you guys are so good, like with the names and remembering it. Like they're good coaches too, so that makes sense that, obviously they're going to know the vocab. But Hunter's a great coach too, but dude, I was like talking to him. He's like, I don't know what the fuck that is, dude. I just know the moves by doing them. And that's kind of how I am. But that, anyways, what I was saying is, so I'd done judo a long time ago. I started doing judo, like when I started training, because we got a black belt in Elk River. And he was like really good, like coach. Like he had coached a lot of guys too. Mm-hmm. And so he came to our gym, started coaching, and I did it for years, like inconsistent. Like I'd have a bout where I'm like consistent with going to judo and then stop going.
I'm spinning.
Yeah,
I'm spinning right
we're
now.
I'm gonna get you to fucking throw up on our first podcast.
I'll be down.
Yeah, you want to put another in?
Mm,
We can give you a rogue to kind of settle it out.
maybe in a bit.
Okay.
Those I don't know. I'm gonna take it slow.
Okay. Is it still in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna keep it in, right?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. What's your favorite martial art? Muay Thai?
Thai boxing, yeah. Wait, I didn't get to finish that story.
Sorry.
No, it's my bad. You were spinning. Do you remember where I was at?
When did you get here? I'm just kidding. Yeah, go on.
No, dude, I fucking forgot. So, we'll just go. Oh yeah, I was training judo, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing it consistently for a couple years, like consistent and then inconsistent. But I was doing it for a couple years, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna compete. I kept telling the coach I was gonna compete, and he was like, okay, so we got to get because he was gonna make me do some like legit tournaments, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then anyways, he wanted me to test for my yellow belt. He's like, just go test for your belt. Actually, I thought it was an orange belt. He's like, go do your yellow and orange belt. But I don't think we have orange belt at the academy, which is weird. I don't know. I was going to have to go somewhere else to test. He wanted me to.
What are the belt ranks?
I don't know for judo, dude. It doesn't matter. Because like the way I remember it before I started doing it again at the academy here, they do it. It's like white, yellow, green, brown, then black.
3
at
browns?
the academies, yeah.
Damn.
So,
It's
but
like your BMs.
yeah, yeah. So we before I thought it was like yellow. What I heard was like yellow, orange, blue or purple, and then green, and then brown. So he wanted me. He's like, dude, the first 2 belts we can get you tested right. Like you're an orange belt. Like I said, I didn't know the belts. And he was like, this is what you need to do. And he was like remembering all these techniques. And I was like, yeah. He's like, but you got to remember Japanese. So you're going to have to say something Rei, Hajime, and
Uchimama.
yeah, you know, like Toshiba, Mitsubishi, Sony,
Yakao.
stuff like that. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Toyota.
Arigato.
Yeah. So what's another sushi place? Benihana,
Kyoto.
Sakura.
Those are all the words that I know.
Yeah, me too. So, anyways, I was like, I'm just not going to do that.
Are they just Japanese names?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's another thing that's weird about judo. You can compete for your belts. So I know if people that know judo ever listen to this, they're going to definitely find errors in what I'm saying. But I do know you can like test to get belts in judo. Or you can test, you can get promoted, whatever. But you can compete. So under USA Judo, everything has to be certified. Like that was the one thing that my judo coach was telling me before too. Like you have to get like certified. Under USA Judo, you have to pay a fee for your passport, and then you have to report your belt. So he said,
wait, what's the passport?
It's your judo passport to compete.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Some like IBJJF, you need something like that too. But judo for sure, because it's an Olympic sport, and USA Judo takes it serious.
Oh.
So yeah, if your dojo's like USA certified, then you have to go through all these steps. Like he was a USA certified judo coach too.
Judoka?
Yeah, judoka. That's good. So the sensei told me this, and I pretty much was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I kept pushing it off because I didn't want to remember all the fucking Japanese sayings. Like, I know the moves.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, I gave up on competing again. In judo anyways. I started doing, like, more Muay Thai. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to... I know the moves. I just want to get better at judo. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But now I actually like wanted to compete because I haven't fought for like almost a year, and I just got really bored with training. So
For
I wanted
judo
to do
or?
some. No, in general, I stopped doing judo because our judo coach actually moved to Texas.
Oh.
Which is another weird thing, is that we had a judo guy come in like a couple months ago. He's like, hey, I just moved from Texas. I'm a judo black belt. I'm wondering if I can coach here. And I was like, that is weird because we just had our judo coach move to Texas. Now we just had a judo guy move back from Texas to come to our gym.
Seems like a fair trade.
Yeah. I don't know how good this guy was, but our other judo coach was legit. But yeah, that's a long story about going into my yellow belt. So I'm nervous about the words. I do not know Japanese, and I have to remember them all.
Yeah.
Like, I think I got them in my head. Like, I know the moves. And Andy, I think, is going to be doing my test. So I don't know if he's going to be a dick to me or not. But then if I don't get my yellow belt again, then again, I'm just never going to fucking do it. I don't care anymore. I'm going to give up on competing in judo. Because I'm pretty sure, again, I'm not positive, but I think the coach before was like, yeah, well, you need to get tested so you can go compete and stuff and get your passport. Otherwise, I can't compete. So then we'll just go back to that, and I'll just not compete in judo. But I made a promise too. Like, I said I was going to, and I always never did. And I never tested for, and I felt kind of disrespectful to our coach, our judo coach too. Because, like, I made it seem like that all the time, and then he ended up leaving. Never even got a new belt, nor did I compete for him. But I used a lot of the moves in fights and stuff.
Judo?
He liked that, yeah.
Like in Thai clinch or what?
In Thai. If you watch, like, my MMA, like, I got 3 MMA fights. I got, like, 1 double leg in there, maybe. But most of them are throws. Like,
really?
Yeah, like my last fight, I hit an Uchimata.
Oh.
At the end.
Is that against that buff black dude in Austin?
Yeah. And before that, it was like I did a couple like knee and hip wheels, which are like essentially a lot of like Muay Thai clinch, belly to belly, like mat return suplexes I've done.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you got a good clinch for sure.
That's like the main thing in my Muay Thai game is clinch.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I think judo is so helpful in it.
I could see that.
You got a big smile. Are you spinning still, or did it
a little
mellow
bit? It's starting to wear off.
I'll pop another in just for you, so I can kind
of. Yeah, that was crazy. Like the week before, we had that clinch training session with Nat, and you were just like throwing me, and then I go into that fight, and it was like pretty much all clinch last week. A lot of it was just clinch on the wall.
Your fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that dude just didn't have your clinch, so that was it's like a nice step down.
You're really good at your like double collar tie one, like in the prom and Muay Thai of just getting like your elbows in.
I didn't do that a single time.
You didn't?
Fight. No, I was just he had an underhook and I was on the wall and I just kept kneeing him in the body. I think I added up though.
You got a couple knees, I thought too.
I got some good knees on him.
Was he trying to do that to you or something? Or was he going like body lock?
He was trying to MMA grapple me on the cage. Gay. I came to bang.
Yeah.
That's why I threw 3 punches.
And then shot?
All I needed was 3 punches. I didn't punch and then shoot. I would just shoot.
Okay.
He kind of like... I remember after his first kick, he threw a left kick, high kick. And I was like, this is a little slower than I was expecting. So I just evaded. And then he kind of flared his arm when he was going to punch. And I just instinctually just went under it.
That's the thing I forget about you is you're a wrestler. Oh shit, I keep talking away. You're a wrestler, and I forget that sometimes because you like have improved your striking and you like to bang in the gym too. Like even MMA, I don't ever think you like really try to take down really. You like try to get to the cage, I feel like, and then clinch almost.
It only comes out in fights, like in training.
Because you get scared. You're like, fuck, I don't want to get
scared. I don't want to get punched. He punched me once. I teeped him, and then he punched me in the forehead. But it was like the best spot to get hit. He was right on my crown.
Dude, yeah, honestly, like I always think that too. Like I'm high level for the dudes I'm gonna fight in MMA for striking, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'm like it's not that I'm scared I'm gonna get hurt. I just don't want to end up because you have little gloves. Yeah. You're like, if I just get nicked here, that would be so embarrassing. He knocked out like a 4-time national champion, world champion fighter. Like that would be so embarrassing. Like if it's a fucking wrestler, because wrestlers can catch you too with the little gloves. Like you think they're shooting, so you drop your hands. So I'm always worried. Like at least if I fucking lose, it's because I grappled with them.
Yeah.
So that thought's always in the back of my head, but I try to use my striking. But all my MMA finish, like if you look at my fights, they're all submission victories.
Really?
So that's what I like is like people trip out, like they're gonna do their research and then they're like, why the fuck is this guy submitting everybody though?
What were the submissions?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Wasn't one of Darce?
Darce was the last one. Was
Yeah.
not a rear naked. Was it? Damn, how do I not remember what I... Triangle choke. It was a Darce and a triangle choke.
With your arms or legs?
Legs. That's an arm triangle.
Oh.
That's a head and arm choke. That's not a triangle choke.
I don't really do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. It's for
Only when I'm
liberals.
forced to.
Yeah.
So, like, are you on good terms with your opponents afterwards?
What do you mean?
You guys, like, dap up? Or are you like,
Yeah,
F
usually.
you, bro?
There was one that was a dick to do that I triangle choke kind of because like in the fight he was like, my coach was saying hit it like a move we were doing.
Yeah.
So like the word was like hit it. He's like hit it in the guy and he was down 2 rounds. Like I was messing this guy up on the feet. Like he just tried to clinch me the whole time. Like not even try to take me. Like he was trying to clinch against the cage.
He doesn't know who you are or something?
Yeah. Well, this was like before like a lot of my Muay Thai success. Before this fight, I don't even think I was a national champion. I don't even think I had one national title. But I had a lot of Muay Thai fights still.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the guy just tried clinching me against the cage, and I just kept Muay Thai throwing and sweeping him like constantly. And I was messing him up on the ground. I had a Darce choke in too in the bell ring. But then what happened that fight? And then so then the last round I'm like teeing him up on the feet or whatever, and he goes, hit it. He's like mocking my coach and dropping his hands.
Yeah.
And then so I went to hit it, and I like slipped, and he took me down. So fair play to him. It actually worked. But then I triangle choked him like right away. Like
Nice.
the one thing he did when he finally took me down, it was his demise. Fucking triangle choked his ass.
Damn. You swept him after he took you down or what?
No, I just ended up in guard and then just immediately choked him. Like it was like seconds, just boom, threw it up.
Wait, you slipped and you were in his guard?
Yeah, I threw a kick and I slipped and he came like, I'm trying to remember the fight. It was like either like a single leg or something. And it, as he was going, because I slipped when I did the kick, I was coming down and he like grabbed my leg, like either a single leg or double leg, and I got guard and then choked him.
We should tell people who don't know.
Yeah.
What are some of your Muay Thai credentials?
Sorry, I'm gonna pull a picture of it too. Just remind me later. So then I've got a sick picture of like the triangle choke.
Okay.
But my credentials are I'm a MMA fighter, Muay Thai fighter, jiu-jitsu grappler, trying to add judo grappler in there too because that'd be sick. Trying to add wrestler in there too. I'm gonna do a wrestling tournament.
You are? When? Do you know which one?
Yeah.
Like an old timers one?
Old timers, Elk River
I was gonna say.
Invitational.
When's that?
I don't know. It's
sign up.
random times.
That'd be fun.
Again, that goes back to like the judo. Like I've said, I'm gonna do it, but until Elk River or Brooklyn Center makes academy singlets, I'm not gonna compete. I'm not gonna
Really?
show up in a no-gi outfit. That's gay.
I've got some singlets you could wear.
I want to rep the academy though. Maybe we can like screen print on there or put something on there.
But Greg would be down.
I think he would too.
Mm-hmm.
And my coaches too, but I think I'm just gonna have to take it in my own hands because he hasn't done it. But yeah, and then I got 3 MMA fights. How many Muay Thai? 18, 15, 23 Muay Thai fights.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. And then 4 national titles in Muay Thai. I guess you could count the USA team trials. It is a national tournament. I guess you could count. That could be 5, but
Yeah.
I don't really count that because that's like the USA team trials, you know. But they call it the USA Muay Thai national tournament. So you could say 5, but USA Muay Thai trials, gold medalist, and then IFMA World Championship silver medalist. So
are you like the big dog for Minnesota Muay Thai right now?
that's
Since
you know
Troy's
who that
known.
is, yeah. But since Troy relinquished it, I'll take the title. But we actually do have like good guys, but I think that IFMA is a cool accomplishment. Like that's like the world championships for anything. Like if you're for wrestling, anything it's a title, so it just helps, if you're on the USA team and you fought at the world championship. So
for sure.
Yeah, I am. But no, for real though, there are a lot of guys probably with more stuff. They just never tried to go on the USA team, or they weren't. But I think Muay Thai is actually, Minnesota Muay Thai is actually pretty underrated. There's a lot of good guys out here.
Sam Bailey?
Sam Bailey, yeah.
Have you ever trained with him?
He just got back from
Chile.
I talked to him a ton on Instagram. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, he just got back from Chile. He's doing the Waco. So that's kickboxing. He was not on the Muay Thai, so don't get twisted, dude. He doesn't have the IFMA World Championships. So once he does that, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, he's a humble beast. He's very Nakamui. One time, there was a competitor from Elk River who had a kickboxing fight recently in Rochester. And
from Elk River?
No. I'm sorry. Eden Prairie
Academy?
Yeah. And he was like, I personally, I like the showmanship. I like
I know what you're going to yeah.
But some other Nakamuis were not very happy with his celebration, I guess.
Oh yeah, like Sam posted something about that.
Yeah, which I didn't see it, but he told me a little bit. I'm a showmanship guy.
Yeah,
I like it.
I don't mind it either, but like if you're like, I don't know. I think like he did like one of these to the guy after he knocked him down. So I get that, but yeah, I don't give a fuck really. But it's just, you look like a dork if you just aren't like that guy, Like once you get to that level where you're like people start talking about you like regionally at least, and you're doing that, it's a little different because you got the stuff backing it up. But I think a lot of like with that dude, like it was an easy target because he looks dorky doing it, like, but don't do that like yet.
Do we even know he was doing the jerk off symbol? Maybe he was just adjusting his glove. Who knows?
Sam said he finished too, so like he did the whole finish. Yeah, it's not like he did the whole like finished on him. And
sometimes you just gotta finish them.
Yeah, and he did. So he finished himself. So and the opponent. So he got 2 finishes that night.
Damn,
that's pretty impressive, honestly. So I take back what I say. That's fucking.
Have you ever like taunted someone or anything like that?
No,
You're
I'm
just
not
a humble
that guy.
beast.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like that. I don't. You know what's weird too? I always thought about that. I don't know how you do that. Like I don't. That's like the last thing on my mind.
Oh,
like once I'm in a fight, like I can't remember to do that. Like even if you told me right before I stepped in there, like I'm so like. I just go to a different place. Like it's just like I don't hear the crowd. I hear my coach, which I think is just something that you get with experience more. I think that like just more fights you hear that. But even before I used to not be able to hear them. I would just hear nothing. It would just be like I put like noise canceling on me.
Yeah.
So I don't know how people even remember to do that. What about you? What do you think? Do you showboat? Like in the fight, I mean. You had
I wanted to kiss this guy's back last week.
Kiss his back?
I had a lot of good opportunities to do it, but like you said, I just kind of just blanked on it.
Yeah, you don't think about it. It's hard. Like that's what I mean. Like even when you knock him down, like I'm so into like trying to get him out of there. I'm trying to get out of there, I'm trying to make it quick.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe I should try finishing myself. Maybe that's the thing. You have to finish off yourself before you finish off your opponent.
You might be onto something.
Yeah. So maybe, but like for you though, you're definitely a show guy. Like prior to the fight, like people that don't know, you had a fucking rapper walking you out. That is wild on the amateur scene. Like
shout out Melly Mike.
Yeah, and like when you told me, I remember at the gym, I was like, "What are you walking out to?" And you said Trap George, and I was like,
"Yeah,
what are you walking out to?" You're like, Trap George. And I went and looked up the song, and I was like, what in the world, dude? That is so crazy. You have your own song on Spotify that if we check it, it's got a lot of plays, actually. It's not like a random guy.
Yeah, no, he's
like a real rapper.
He's clouded. He's got a big Germany fan base, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. He gets a few million monthly listeners, but I think he kind of like takes stuff down and reposts.
Oh, I was just gonna say
time to time.
I can't find it on my Spotify.
Yeah, he had to do a clean version for that walkout because apparently it's a family friendly thing.
Yeah, it's not coming up. That had like almost like 20,000 plays, didn't it, or something? Like it was like.
So it was probably 18,000 were me though.
Yeah. No, that's pretty dope. You have your own song. So I have a buddy who's a rapper too that I grew up with, and he would always say he's going to make a song for me, and he's actually really good, but he never did. So
yeah, I can't really do the showman stuff in the middle of the fight because I blank out, but I did like to talk a little shit before online.
Yeah. Dude, your shit talking is wild.
It's fun.
You're good at it too, so
I'm trying to get better. I'm not much of I try to like do some pro wrestling promos, but it's just not really my style to like be an intense guy. I'm more of a monotone.
You're very monotone.
Surprising, yeah.
This is the most emotion out of you. Like when you say you're doing a podcast, I was hoping you would have another person too, but you actually have more emotion here now. In the gym, you're still pretty monotone.
I'm usually high in the gym. That's why. It's kind of flat.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a video response to me, and that's why I said I tried to kiss him, or I wanted to kiss him, because he said no striking, no takedowns, only kisses.
Yeah, he initiated it.
And he did have how do I put this? He had a pioneer in women's MMA in his corner.
What? A pioneer of it? Who?
It was he had Caitlin Young in his corner, and I guess he trains at SI sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. So
I thought his gym was like out of state.
He's a cool guy. We're gonna train sometime. So like I have nothing bad to say about him. He's a homie now, but he trains at Ronin Fitness in Eau Claire. But Caitlin Young replied to his video and said I look like the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh shit!
I didn't even know what that looked like. I'm like, maybe she's onto something. Maybe this is a good burn. Do you know what he looks like?
Yeah, I don't think you look like him.
He's like an old ginger man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely not.
So I mean, like, she's a pioneer and everything, but her burns suck. And that's just kind of, women usually aren't that funny.
Yeah, they're
unless
not.
You're Ellen DeGeneres. Unless you're a lesbian,
damn it, bro. God damn it.
So I can't call her gay because she would be funnier.
There's no way you look like. That's a terrible. Yeah.
I don't think so. But
like you could say a lot of things you look like because you're like a white beaner, like you're saying. So like you could find some better things to say other than that. Like that is terrible.
I've gotten Jay Leno before, which there might be something to that, the side profile a little bit, but I'm not trying to give anyone free ammo. So just all that to say that girls aren't really that funny most of the time.
But wait. So he does train there?
He goes there on the weekends sometimes.
Oh.
So I told him, you've got to come to the academy. So he's probably going to stop in on some weekends.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's crazy. So that's a far drive still. So he's going up and, like, he'll go up to Striking Institute?
Only on the weekends, I think he said.
Dude, that's impressive. Honestly, though, like, when people do that, that's, like, when they travel, I think that's, like...
It's cool when someone does that for a grind. I used to know this one chick, and she would just come to the cities in Wisconsin just to party. So that wasn't as cool as going to train, but
yeah, if you drive like that, that's like commitment. I'd respect that when people do that, because I always say like I would do that too. Like I'm like, but that is, yeah.
You've been doing that in Brooklyn Center though.
Yeah, I'd got to drive a whole 15 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah, it's like took me from my house like 20 minutes.
Can I have another one of the
yeah, dude.
Them hoes?
Hell yeah.
I think this one's wearing off. My armpits are sweaty though, so it might be doing something.
Yeah. No, did you get some more flames from other people? Were people trying to roast you?
People are pretty quiet after you get the dub. But he had a bunch of like his little homies from his gym like commenting on my stuff. I mean, I don't know if he organized it, but they did, whatever. So I had to go back and like their comments after the fight.
So actually Caitlin is his coach, right?
She's in his corner.
Yeah, so like he'll go there and actually
Yeah,
that's legit. I didn't know he had a whole like striking like coaches too. So I mean, he's got a whole team.
It's funny you say like you could only hear your coach, not like the audience, because I heard Nat, telling me to throw some knees. I heard Caitlin Young telling him to like now or something like that, and then I heard his other coach Sam like telling him to do stuff.
Well, I could. That's crazy. You hear his coaches too. Sometimes I hear him, but wasn't Caitlin coaching too when you joined the academy? So you could probably recognize her voice.
I joined right after she left. Yeah, right when I joined, they said there was this big split that just happened.
That they just wanted to kind of do their own like focus on Muay Thai.
Yeah, there was some Muay Thai team there before.
Yeah, I know. They had like That
was before my time.
Yeah, I was there for a little bit when they had the Muay Thai guys there too sometimes. But I was doing just on the MMA team. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they had like a lot of those guys over there at the Striking Institute came from there. Like that Cooch Long, he's an animal. Like Troy said.
Is that a black dude?
Yeah, he's the like southpaw. He's a pro guy. But Troy said that was the hardest like left kick he's ever felt out of anybody he's like trained with.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. Never held pads for my left kick.
Yeah, dude. No. They got a killer group over there too.
No, I definitely know like at least 5 people that can kick way harder than me. Like at the academy currently.
That is funny though. You did get some more people like roasting you. That's funny.
I'm down. I mean, I was kind of like leaning into the heel.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's what I like. I like when they don't get mad. Like actually, they send stuff back. Like that's cool. Like
he responded great. Like he was a good sport.
That's what I mean. Like if you're not taking it serious, like
his response is funny too. Like he sent the video and I laughed out loud.
Yeah, like I like that. Yeah.
No, he's a cool guy. We smoked weed after the fight.
Oh, really?
Like immediately after.
Damn, that's so cool. That's awesome, man. I've never I didn't do that with any of my opponents, but dude Herbert fought on the car. Actually, Herbert.
Who's Herbert?
Dude, this is a funny story. You want to hear a funny story? I'll tell you about Herbert, dude.
Herbert.
Dude, yeah, he fought, I think he's out of Wisconsin. I fought it was in Austin again. This was the second one. The dude I triangle choked.
But his name was Herbert?
Huh?
That's Herbert?
No. I didn't fight Herbert, remember? This is not my opponent. Herbert, during this fight, though, he was fighting on the same card in Austin. Herbert fought my first MMA debut guy. Remember I was telling you I had noticed the guy was in PFL? Yeah, I was like, the dude's fighting in the PFL. Damn. That dude, he fought on that card. So my friends... And so we're in like the same weight class, right? Like, so after our fight, my buddies are all there. And we're gonna go tear up Austin, Minnesota, dude. Austin, they're not ready for us, you know. So we're gonna go tear up the town of Austin. So we get done with the fight, and immediately, like after I see them, like it takes them like 5 minutes to be talking with Herbert, and they're all like, "Oh, dude, you're so good, man." Oh, they're like just fucking glazing the shit out of this dude. Yeah. And I'm like, they're like inviting him now to come hang out. I was like, no, guys. I was like trying to be like, fucking, like I'm gonna fight this dude. I could fight this dude, right? He's in the same weight class. He just fought a dude I fought, and I'm like, dude. But all my buddies are like, Herbert, you're the man, Herbert. Yeah. So I'm like, damn. So now I gotta fucking hang out with my buddies, tear up Austin with Herbert. And like right away, dude, so I go shower and I'm like chilling there. Herbert's in my goddamn hotel room. Oh, yeah. Great. You know, Herbert, though, was a fucking cool dude. So right away we're like sitting down. He's like, we're probably gonna fight sometime. I was like, yeah, Herbert, we might. I just love saying his name, dude. His name's Herbert, you know. Herb. But yeah, he ended up being a cool guy anyways, and so we start hanging out with him. So yeah, we kind of got like the awkwardness out right away. He's like, "Yeah, we'll probably fight." He's like, "You're really good, man. It'll be a great fight. It'll be a better fight than I've ever had." And so like he was being cool with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "All right, fuck it. We're gonna roll the dice, see what Herbert's about. We're gonna let this guy in on the boys' night out in Austin." So we did. We start like drinking. I gotta take my other one out. We start like drinking as you do after a fight, you know, and partying. And actually, this was when I wasn't even I was 19, so I wasn't even 21, so I couldn't get to the after party in Austin.
Yeah.
So I just won my fight, and I couldn't even get in to the thing.
Was it the bar in that hotel?
Yeah.
All right.
Shit gets wild there when after all the fighters are there. But the bouncer, you know, some short little guy, IDs.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, I was just gonna be like, because every fighter gets an X, you know.
Yeah.
So I just like point to that. Like he's like, "Oh, you fought today?" And then right before, like he could even check me and all my friends' IDs because none of my friends are, right.
Yeah.
The girl that was my waitress before, like after weigh-ins because we ate there.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I know. Yeah, he's a fighter. They're all good. They could come in. Yeah, I waited on them last night." And he's like, "Oh, come on in."
Mm-hmm.
But we have to get to the bar, dude. So we have to get drinks at the bar, you know. So we get in there and they're like IDs. And
At the bar?
Yeah, at the bar.
Huh.
Even though they're IDing people out there. I'm like looking around. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even going to try to like finesse this one. I just show him my fighter X again, like the mark, and he goes, "You're good." So he gets my drinks, but my buddy, so I had a buddy here who looks really young for his age, like already like and he has cerebral palsy, so he's like kind of like skinny, you know, and it just makes him look younger. Now he looks a lot older, but like back then too, especially like you could be like, "Are you even in high school?"
Yeah.
Like my buddy with cerebral palsy did one of the most like badass things ever. Like the way he did it, he pulls out his wallet like he's gonna ID, and he has cerebral palsy, so he kind of like moves a little bit weird, but then he like flicks his like wallet. It's like he had the wallet that's like FBI, like flick it out, your ID's there.
Yeah.
And he just flips it at the bartender, and it just hits the bartender and goes on the table. The bartender shakes his head because he's like, this dude just hit me with his wallet. He must be drunk already. And he just gives him a drink. Doesn't even look at the ID.
Damn.
And yeah, so anyways, we got drunk and we started hanging out with Herbert, and Herbert goes, this is a long story just to tell you how I smoked weed with this guy, but Herbert goes, once we get out of the hotel, we go walk around Austin, he goes, "Yo, dude, I put a blunt out here in the bushes." I'm like, "No, you didn't." Like, I was like, this guy's just lying. Like, he's like, "Yeah, man, my coach doesn't like that. I smoke weed, dude, but I rolled up a couple Dutches. They're in the packaging out here." And he's got my buddies searching for it. Like, and he's like, "Come on, dude, we gotta look." And I'm like, not telling my friends, I'm like, "Just stop. There's no blunt out here." He's just trying to like, act like he's gonna end up being like, "Oh man, somebody must have taken it, or it's not here." So I wasn't even looking. 2 minutes later, he goes like, "Here it is." Literally pulls it out of the bushes, dude.
Damn.
There was 2 blunts rolled up in there.
Such a Herbert move.
Such a fucking Herbert move, dude. So I ended up smoking and chilling with Herbert, and he's still an active fighter, not consistently, but he's a good fighter. He's actually got a good record.
Really?
Like maybe he's dropped like a loss or 2 recently. I think he's pro now, but I got him on Snapchat, so I always tune into his stories. He's like a security guy, dude, and I don't know what job Herbert was on during this time, dude, but he's got no shirt on, like a tactical vest on, armed security guard, just like outside of like he's like bumping music, and he's like outside of wherever he's doing security, and he's just like smoking, no shirt on, just a tactical vest.
Are you sure he's not like a male stripper?
Yo.
We had this one dude named Herbert at my high school.
Yeah.
And it was only white people there.
Mm-hmm.
But Herbert was like one of the only black guys there. And I remember Herbert, like, he got like 9th through 10th grade, and he like must have hit puberty or something, because he had like one of the biggest benches in our school.
Yeah.
all that to say, like, a black dude's named Herbert.
Yeah,
There's something to it.
there is.
You know what Herb Dean's full name is?
No.
Herbert Dean.
Damn. There you go, man.
I'm getting nauseous.
Yeah, you got a little forehead sweat going,
gotta
dude.
take both of these out. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. This reminds me of that Walmart in Wilmer.
Yeah. Is it that bad or is it?
No, it's not that bad. Just no, I'll be good. I'll be good.
Just
Need
slam
more
that
water,
wine.
Lou.
That'll help.
I'm not much of a drinker, but I did go out last weekend and booze.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, after your fight, yeah.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to not get too much damage, you know.
Yeah.
But then I stayed up too late. I think that maybe got me sick for a day or two.
For sure. If you drink and lose sleep too, like you're done.
I'm cooked. I was cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was going pretty light this week.
Dude, that's like the worst feeling. And like you walk around with like heart palpitations all day. You get sick. You have anxiety. Like you just feel like a mess. And then you can't sleep too for some reason. Like you'll just be like, I'm just going to spend the rest of the day in bed. And you can't because you can't even sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I probably won't booze after fights in the future.
Like I said, I don't drink like ever, but it was just recently this happened. I had my girlfriend, her like best friend had a wedding. She was getting married, so I went there and honestly did not get that drunk. Like really, like I don't get like hammered really. Like it would take a lot for me to like black out. Like I can still like I just don't get like crazy, you know what I mean? Like I'm like that's just not the drunk I get. And
you just clinch people.
Yeah.
When you get drunk.
Yeah, usually it's something like that.
Judo sweeps.
Yeah, can you imagine just judo throwing somebody in like dress clothes on a fucking wedding dance floor?
That's what Volk did after like with some UFC promotion. He just shadow boxed when they played music.
Like a fighter having to go like interact in a normal social situation.
Yeah.
But I went to train Sunday because I couldn't sleep or nothing.
While you were like hungover?
Yeah, and I actually thought I felt better. Like I just like took things to make me try to even out, you know, like get medicine. I don't like ibuprofen or nothing.
Me either.
Yeah.
It's bad for your organs.
Yeah.
So they say.
Yeah. So I went to train and I felt fine once I started moving around. And this was at the Sunday practices over in Brooklyn Center here.
Oh, yeah.
And David wasn't there. So we were just kind of like doing our own thing. So I kind of like took the reins a little bit and just was like, hey, do you guys want to do this? They're like, yeah. So it was like that Amir guy was there too.
Oh, this is recently.
Yeah, like last month. And then I was like, just like having us do clinch. I was like, hey, do you guys just want to do this? So we were doing a bunch of clinch rounds. Not good. Like afterwards, I was like, whoa. Like, you know, I'm taking knees, sweeping, doing sparring kind of. And dude, all of a sudden this new guy, like Amir and another guy there were like asking me questions and like tips and stuff. They're like, oh, what about this? And like those two didn't know like my experience either or nothing. So like when they felt me, they're like, oh, you have a good clinch. And I was like, oh, thanks. He's like, can I get tips? And I was like, sure. They're like, how do you do this? How do you work your elbows? And I was like trying to show them. And I was like, yo, it hit like immediately. I was like, so I just kept like, I like walked over to like where the bathroom was and I was like spitting in the, you know, when you get to that point when you're about to throw up, you just keep spitting. So I'm like talking, I'm like, oh, and then you're going to want to elbows and then I was like, yep. And I just had to be like, all right, give me a second. I'll come back to that. And no, I think I just like told him, I was like, yeah, just don't throw elbows till you get like 5 fights. And I like ran away. Like I just had to get out of there. And I like just threw up all in the locker room, like in the
That big garbage.
Yeah, just for like 5 minutes straight. And
Damn.
then I went to, they just saw me walking out to the dumpster, open up the garage and threw that out there. Everyone, they're like, what are you? This guy's strange. And I was like, yeah, my bad, guys. I threw up. I feel better now. But then I did coach them and show them some things that they wanted.
Have you ever thrown up in training before that?
Yeah. Multiple times. I used to not be a puker training, but now if I like, when I start getting ready to like tune it up before a fight, if I'm like a little out of shape, maybe, yeah, I could, there's a good chance I'll throw up.
Damn.
Not a lot though. I actually like 5 times maybe I've done it.
I've only yacked when I was like drank the night before.
Yeah, usually something like that too doesn't help. You like, yeah, and it was weird because I like felt fine, but once you start going hard, you're just like, because I don't drink either, so that's the problem too. If you not like, if you do, just like, if you don't like go and party on the weekends and you have one time you just go, like that next day you can't go train. Like your body is not used to that.
I thought I was gonna yak when we did that clinch day, like a week or two before the fight.
Probably me too, but that was just straight like hard work.
Tired.
Yeah, Nat is such a like, dude. He's such like, him and Greg are such. They're just great coaches, but they like the way they structure training and like how they run stuff. Like I love it. Like it's literally like, especially when I started training there, like Greg's class, I was like, dude, this is a class I've like always wanted to be in. Like just the way they like go about it. Like it's like drilling, focusing on like what you're actually doing and not just throwing you in there. Like I hate just like sparring or clinching, like having a purpose to it, doing, because you just are consciously training your brain for what you're doing versus if you just like, okay, we're gonna do a jab, cross, hook, hit the pads, smash the pads, go spar. There's nothing you're gonna really get better at other than like sparring really. But like when he breaks it down, like you can only do one kick.
Oh yeah.
You can only do your jab, rear kick, like that. That's how you get like better.
Really?
I think so. Drillers make killers, right?
That's what I've heard. I just go and spar usually.
Yeah, it's what I've been doing lately too. But like I know like a lot of guys too, like during the AM practices when we were doing there, like a lot of people were like, oh, when are we going to get done doing drills? It's been 45 minutes. And I'm like, dude, it's Greg Nelson, brother. Like you need, like whatever he's saying, whatever we're doing, fucking follow that to a T, because look at who's been here. Look at the people he's trained. There's a reason. But a lot of guys too, it just comes down to like the Instagram fighter. Everyone thinks they got it. They look at Instagram, they see people posting videos, or they come from like maybe a wrestling background or something, so they think they know what to do. But it's not to say they're not good. You're probably a great fighter, but if you just humble yourself, listen to like what these coaches are teaching, do it, like that's how you're going to grow as a martial artist and not just a fighter.
For sure. I feel like I get stage fright if Greg's in my corner.
Yeah, dude, I could see that. Like that would be wild, like having a legend like that like in your corner.
This last fight I told him I would love to have you in my corner, but I think I get a little nervous. So I told him I'm going to go with Nat and Andy on this one.
Yeah, I would get nervous too. I know exactly what you're saying too. Like that's a lot of like shoes to fill. Like think about all the people he's in the corner of.
Oh yeah.
Even Nat, dude. I mean, just because, you know, everyone always thinks Greg, but Nat's the other guy that trains these dudes too. Yeah. That would be kind of nervous too. Like Nat was at my fight in Austin in MMA. Like I remember like nobody's in the crowd there. Like by that time, like you see how small it is. And I was the last fight, so.
You were the last fight?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Main event?
Yeah. So.
When was your first main event?
My first main event?
Yeah.
Like that was my only, but Muay Thai. I don't know, like 20.
It's been a few, huh?
There's been a couple. I don't know. Probably like, I think I fought on the first ever Maximus Muay Thai promotion against their dude.
Don't they just get studs on Maximus?
Yeah, Maximus is a fucking
They
good.
get studs versus studs.
They got a lot of good talent coming there. They should like travel outside though too when they get bigger. I think like come to, because like the Muay Thai and like even the promoter there, he hates like the rules that have to be implemented in Illinois. Like it's not Muay Thai. You can't even elbow, even with elbow pads. The clinch is all right. Like they're decent now. Like my first fight, it wasn't too much like I was pretty much told like it's glory rules, and I was like, well then that's kickboxing.
Yeah,
they changed it last time I fought on Maximus. They let the clinch go a lot longer, I thought. But yeah, they should, like, that's a good promotion. They get a lot of good guys, and they just made MMA and combat jiu-jitsu a part of it too.
Really?
But I hope they don't go into cage Muay Thai. I saw they're like getting a cage.
You don't like that?
Not for Muay Thai, no.
Do you like the little gloves for Muay Thai?
Yes, I do.
Why not cage?
It's just not like it's just not Muay Thai. Like you need the ring, like the corners, like even before, Muay Thai, it's not a big deal. But there's a Y crew like sealing off the ring.
Wait, what?
Bowing to your corners, yeah.
Oh yeah, the dance thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Y crew memorized?
Yeah, it's just the basic one, like you do, like. I actually don't have a Y crew. It's just like the basic one. You seal the ring, come out, do a little like dance of like it looks like you're like checking your kick, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then you like go down, and then you like kind of got like a funk to you because you have to have the music. So doing the Y crew without the music is stupid because there's no music. But then you kind of get, you know what the Muay Thai music is?
Yeah, like bagpipes or whatever.
Yeah. So then you kind of like move your body to that, and then like you go up, one arm down with the other, bow, one arm look up to the sky, touch your head to the ground, do that 3 times, and then up, do the same thing, but circle the other way, and then bow and go to your corner. So it's pretty simple.
I remember the first time I saw one, I was watching Troy's highlights on YouTube. I was like, this dance is gay. But then he knocked the guy out, so that made up for it.
Yeah. That's funny. It is kind of like, if you don't know, but I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool if you know what it is.
Yeah, I just don't. I get what you're saying. It doesn't, like, especially if there's no music. I hate seeing when people do it. Like, it's one thing to seal the ring, but if you do a Y crew without music, there's really no point. But, like, a lot of, like, Muay Thai guys are nerds. Mm-hmm. Like, even when you're, like, talking to them, they're, like, bowing to you and shit. Like, outside of the ring, just, like, seeing them, It just, it's just what they do. So, like, yeah, so it's, like, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's a knock Muay thing for sure.
I like it, though, because it does kind of make me feel ready. Like, it just feels like, I don't know, maybe it just gets me warmed up, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I always feel like, I don't think it's true, but I always feel like I'm getting in my opponent's head, especially if they don't do, like, a little Y crew, and they're sealing off the ring, but then even though it's, like, a bullshit Y crew, I just kind of come out and just, like, touch my head to the ground. They're probably like, in my head, I'm like, oh, they're like, this guy knows what the fuck's up. Yeah. But really, they're probably like, why are you doing a Y crew? There's no fucking music. But in my head, I'm thinking, I got in their head.
Do you ever step over the ropes when you're going in?
All the time. Every time I'm told not to, my coach is like, we're doing it. At the TBAs, you're not supposed to because they don't. I always do it. Mm-hmm. Like, the ref will be like, hey, and I'm like already over. They're like, oh. What are they going to do? Like, not let you fight?
No. So, do you have to do it if you're in Thailand?
Yeah. Well, so we couldn't do it at the World Championships, and we didn't want to, especially because you don't want to look bad, too. No, there's music at the World Like, it's super, like...
Okay.
But I'm not going to make myself look bad in front there. And I was like, it wasn't just my coach there. I was I had the USA team coaches there. So what you have to do, the monkol on your head,
Mm-hmm.
you have to remove it and then give it to your coach and then go under. That can't go underneath the ropes. That has to stay above. So then you come with it on. They take it off. You go under. They put it back on, and then you can do it.
Yeah. I think I went under the ropes with it on.
Oh no! Did you?
I think maybe at the first TBAs I went to.
You have to sit outside next time. I don't know if you're gonna fight Muay Thai again. You have to sit outside, walk up, wait, get to the ropes, and just like seal it a couple times if you do, or just get to the rope, put your arm on the rope, and then wait for your coach to come up and take it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that I don't have to do all the formal stuff like that. I want to go to Thailand in February.
They'll teach you a Y crew if you go to a gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you gonna fight out there?
I want to do one at least.
They're gonna make you do a Y crew. They're gonna have to teach you before, so you'll have to do it. More than likely, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I just want to beat up some big German guy or like fat Thai.
I was gonna say they're gonna give you a fat, out of shape Thai for your first fight. So that's why I say get a couple fights, because they're just gonna they don't want to look bad either. They don't know who you are, so they don't want to make you look bad. They want you to
keep coming back.
Kind of, but like you're foreigner white dude, the betting, they're gonna want some like out of shape fucking fat Thai. Like that's what you always see. It's so par for the course. Like you see a guy leave, going to Thailand, get to Thailand, had my first fight, and you watch it and it's some fucking just out of shape knockout in the first round, and it's some like dude your size, some Farang foreigner, white dude just knocking the piss out of some like fat out of shape Thai.
So do they throw the fights? Like, do they go in there expecting to lose?
Yep.
One of the guys, Greg, who trains at Brooklyn Center, went to Thailand and trained, and he had a fight, and he had a fat older Thai guy.
Yeah.
And then he hit him with like a body cross,
and the guy fell to the ground.
Like, oh, yeah, all dramatic.
Yeah.
But Greg said he thinks like he just took a dive.
He did. That is 100% what they do. It's not a question. You can't really control it too. Like that's the one thing. Like so, I went to Sasi Prapa, and they wanted me to fight at Raja. They said like they could do that, and
is that like a stadium or something?
Yeah, dude. It's one of the. There's Lumpini and Raja, like two of the biggest stadiums there.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
I don't know anything. No.
Yeah, I mean, Raja has a lot of. It depends too. So Raja has these different promotions too. What?
We're good.
Have we been recording this whole time?
Oh yeah.
Audio and everything?
Oh yeah.
It's working. Okay.
Camera connection got lost, but it's still going, so I think we're good.
So, yeah, Raja is one of the big stadiums, but they have different promotions there. So like, there's like Knockout Night, which is like they bring out some like tough Thai with like 100 fights against some foreigner that maybe has a handful, and they just it's the opposite.
Oh really?
Yeah, pretty much that's what we saw. Like it's like they advertise it like, and it's so fucking Thai. It's so funny. Like they're like 90% knockout rate, you know, and it's like, I wonder why that is. You got to really do some matchmaking there to make that happen, to make sure. Yeah. And so it's like that, but they were willing, especially if I come back, to go and do it under whatever promotion. At the time. It's not going to be like RWS. That's like the big one. Okay. That's like major league at Raja right now. So obviously I don't think I'd get a fight there. Maybe. But it'd probably be like some like Knockout Night or something like that. But like they were going to let me get like a legit fight and not like
a good Thai.
Maybe not our body type does not fit for an average Muay Thai fighter in Thailand, you know. So it'd be another foreigner, but it'd be a good fight.
Like a good foreigner.
Yeah.
Like a Maximus foreigner.
Like a Maximus oh, like, yeah, sure, like a Maximus foreigner.
Yeah. Damn. You think you'll go back?
To Thailand? Yeah, I'm trying to. It's just hard to, like, plan it. It's a commitment, you know? Because I want to do MMA. What about you? Like, are you focusing on MMA? Or?
I need to figure some things out and start punching people. And I think maybe I need to do some more striking fights, like Muay Thai.
I think as like an amateur, it just makes sense to like fight anything.
Oh yeah.
Just do anything. Like, I think a lot of people just think they should do Muay Thai. Like, I was trying to get Cannon because Greg told me he wants Cannon to do the TBAs or something. He suggested it. Cannon thought of it, but he's like, dude, I'd have to go into like open class, A class, because he was already pro.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I only have even a handful of like amateur MMA fights. And I was like, dude, you would do good. You would have a tough time with the amount of guys and getting used to the rule set. Like, they're going to be Muay Thai fighters there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be MMA fighters. So you'll have a tough time like adjusting your training before you do it, maybe. But like someone like him, for sure, like he's a striker, and that could like throw a Muay Thai guy like for a loop, like not being used to that. And he's good enough to where I think he should have. But that's what I think people should do, is stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's pro, so that's a little different. You're focusing on like your path to getting to the UFC or whatever. But if you're an amateur, there's no reason that you shouldn't. Maybe not the TBAs, because that's a big tournament. There's like legit guys. They're trying to win it. Like, they train for, to get to like the TBAs and win it. Like, people really take that serious. So it's not, maybe not that. But if you're like confident in your Muay Thai, you train it, and you want to do both, fight Muay Thai and MMA, you for sure can do that. Especially if you're an amateur right now.
You think you'll keep doing Muay Thai, or?
Yeah. As long as I'm not like focusing on like really trying to make a pro run in MMA, because I just want the experience. That's how you get better, is just fighting, not jiu-jitsu tournaments. But I think you should do jiu-jitsu tournaments too, because it's still a competition. But like actual fights, I think are like, even if it's not MMA and your goal is MMA, like Muay Thai fights will help getting used to that, because you got to stay banging with the dude.
For sure.
Shit goes wrong, you can't take him down.
No, yeah.
It's a double-edged sword when you do both too, because you're like, MMA, there's so much shit going on, you have to train for so much. It's everything, right? But then if you do Muay Thai, okay, you're stuck in this rule set. I only have to focus on striking, right? I don't got to worry about whatever this like. I don't got to worry about a double leg. He's not going to shoot in. But if shit goes south for you, and your opponent keeps having success, and you start getting your head about it, you can't switch up the game plan. You can't go, okay, I'm going to take him to the ground, I'm going to try submitting him. You're stuck clinching and banging it out.
Some people feel like MMA people get more damaged and hurt. I think Muay Thai.
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
for
like what
sure.
you're saying.
For sure.
You just stand and trade.
Like, your shins are always broken after the fight, like they're cracked for sure. Like, it just, you're throwing bones on each other. It's might not, like, you're not going to snap your shin, but you definitely are getting a bunch of fractures in there.
Oh, yeah.
Your knees are always swelled up. That's the one thing that my knees, dude, I can't bend them for shit after a Muay Thai fight. They're just so swollen.
What's that from? From like
getting kicked.
Getting kicked in the knees?
Like, just like bouncing and moving around.
Mm-hmm.
I like, even MMA, it's weird. Like, I don't have to get kicked there, but when I compete, like even jiu-jitsu tournaments, like when I'm going like 100% and not holding back, I think it's the lactic acid.
Oh, yeah.
But my knees always swell up. Like, even like jiu-jitsu tournaments, like I don't even have to get kicked there. Just like that, your body and adrenaline all going. I think they just swell up. I don't know why. It's weird.
You gonna do a jiu-jitsu tournament next week?
Yep. That's one point. I got a busted rib though again, so happened. I cannot get through my ribs. Like, this past year has been terrible. It's this left one too that's really bad.
Is it like getting hit in the ribs, or?
A little bit. It's more the back of the rib. Like, I messed both of them up, like cracked. And this one might be out of place now, I'm thinking, because it just, like, I was getting stacked, and that's when it happened. Like, in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, the coach was just using me to demonstrate. And it was a stack pass, and it was really messing it up. And then after that, it just got worse and worse, and it's getting worse. So,
damn.
I think this one actually might be, like, popped out. Versus this one just kind of got cracked or, like, bruised. But after my last fight, they were both just done for.
What weight would you go at?
For the jiu-jitsu?
Mm-hmm.
It's like 185 to 210, so I'm not going to cut weight. It's such a big, like, say like 25 pounds or something.
Damn.
So.
Are you going to do gi and no gi?
Yeah, if I do a jiu-jitsu, I just do both. Are you doing it?
Thinking about it.
You should. You should do, like, a little shout-out on your Instagram, too. Be like, hey, if you're one of my opponents here and you're stalking me, just know I'm doing oil checks.
Fish hooks and oil checks.
Yeah, just let them know.
I'm definitely not going to do gi, though.
Why? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't go.
I'm done with gi. I'm done with gi forever, I think.
Dude, people got to follow your Instagram because it's so good. Like, you update, too. You're a fun watch. It's like, if you're competing, can be something like as little as a jiu-jitsu tournament. You're going to have stories. You got content, dude. So.
Yeah. I used to be a lot more active on, like, Snapchat and Instagram and stuff. I don't even have Snapchat anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet your Snapchat was fun.
It was cool. It was cool for a while. I had, like, a 3,000 day snap score.
Really?
A streak. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
3,000. I think I might be up that with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like.
Well, this was with a guy.
It's
no homo. But.
Pause.
No diddy.
Yeah. I mean, that was so funny though. Like, you had like 100 stories. You're like about to go up, just updating throughout the day. And you're like, I had a great day. I had no gi. Fucking won. Here's my medal. Now I'm going to go replenish. Come back for gi. Take a picture. You're like, in the gi. We'll update. Next one, you're in a cast. Just a picture of you in a fucking cast and the doctor's there or something too. And you're like, update. The gi sucks.
The gi sucks.
You had that song in the background. It's so funny. Like it.
I only got through the absolute division.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even do the other two divisions that I had left.
So you did the absolute and gi?
I did no gi first and then gi for absolute.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, absolute, I always think is a terrible idea.
Dude, okay, so at first, like, I'm, like, looking at the bracket and stuff. I'm like, all right, think nothing of it. Some dude named Sean. And then I meet him, and it's, like, a Russian. And I'm, in my head, I'm like, fuck. So then we start grappling.
It was some Russian guy?
Some Russian guy. Automatically, like, this sucks.
Did he come with just, like, the beard, no mustache, like...
Yeah, just like a timid, awkward white guy who's just really good at grappling. And then he grabs my sleeve and pulls guard. He pulled guard so hard that he, like, slammed and farted when he hit the mat. And then, like, I was trying to talk to him in the match. I was like, this guy just farted. And then he snaps my arm.
I never knew that was the story behind it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It was like the worst possible thing because his nether region's elevated in my face while my arm's getting... It was so gay. He, like, wrist locked me before he straightened my arm out.
Yeah.
Just, like, the lamest gi stuff. You're going to wrist lock me. You're going to pull guard.
Yeah.
It's in a gi. And you're going to fart. Dude, that was my worst jiu-jitsu experience yet. So I'm done with the gi.
Yeah. So that's why you don't ever want to do judo. You're not going to touch judo.
Never. Judo, I'm just afraid of getting hurt. I have some bad habits where I, like, post when I'm going down sometimes. Oh, yeah. I just think I should stay away from judo.
Yeah, judo is scary, though, like, with injury and stuff. That is the one thing that does fuck me up every time. Like, before, like, randori, like, going live, I do get a little worried. Like, my knees, too.
I don't know what randori is. Is that a person or a move?
It's both. No, it's a move. Or no, it's neither. It's just like rolling in jiu-jitsu, but for judo, right? You're sparring.
You just throw each other pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I like grip fighting because it's a lot safer, but you're practicing getting there. Like, you'll go do the move, but not take them down fully. I think you can, like, still get enough out of training where you don't always have to do randori. But it is scary. Like this one dude, I was undersized, and he was like a green belt there, so he'd been doing judo for a long time, and so he's not like brand new. Like he knows how to do it, and he went to throw me, and he's like a lot undersized than me, like skinny dude, and so like I'm not gonna resist, especially like Hunter, that coach there, like he always says like, if you are using muscle, give it up, because that's not what this is. You need to, if you feel like you got to muscle something, don't do it. So I was like, once he got in the position, he went to throw me. Like I just let it happen. Like I was not fighting. And it was, he did like Ogoshi, right?
Ogoshi.
You know Ogoshi. Yeah. So it's hip toss. And I remember seeing it because my head was like going to the mat. So I'm like upside down. I could see his legs. He did it properly. But I think just the weight and him doing it, like he didn't, like if you do a hip toss and you keep your knee like this instead of turning it down, like you can get it injured, right? Because your foot's planted here. If your knee comes in, it'll pop, right? But he turned it down. Like I said, he's been doing judo for a long time, like a couple of years. But yeah, like there was like a pop, and he threw me to the ground. I didn't hear the pop. He said it was pretty loud, but he like had like his eyes were like that, dude. And like I said, like he threw me, so I was like, it was a good throw. I didn't know what was going on, and he was like he couldn't even say anything. He was just holding his knee, and I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, my knee, it just went. And I was like, damn. And that was like my second like time doing randori with judo, so that's kind of scary.
When was that? How long ago was that?
Like probably in October, the end of it or something, or
have you seen him
beginning
since?
of November. Yeah, he's been coming, but he's like not doing it fully. He's been kind of like limping. He looked better last time, but I was like, damn, dude, like did the throw perfect. The technique was perfect. He knows what he's doing, but stuff like that can just happen. And I think it's just because of the weight, because I was oversized. Like that's why I don't like absolute like stuff like that. But it was just a freak thing. Like I felt terrible, even though it wasn't my fault, but it just was like, that was scary. Like especially your knees.
I like absolute because some like in nogi there's no belts, and sometimes I go against a heavyweight and they're like a white belt, but no one knows. So it's just you beating up someone way bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
And it looks cooler. But
so does the absolute, do they do like all belts too? Because before, when I was doing like I competed a lot in jiu-jitsu, like before I was like really competing in MMA or Muay Thai. So I did I was super active doing jiu-jitsu tournaments, but all those were just absolute with your belt color or experience level in nogi.
I think it was just absolute nogi at the last one I did in Hopkins.
And it was like, it's just everyone then.
You know Colin
black belts
Huckbody?
going against.
Yeah, there's a black belt.
And they're going
a couple
against
brown belts.
And they go up against like white belts too in the absolute, or.
Yeah, I choked out he's a black belt now, but he was a brown belt at the time. He's a little bit older and I'm way bigger, so there's some advantages, but I do have a brown belt dub under my belt.
That's good.
Blue belt.
That's legit.
Rashal said he was going to give me a purple belt if I choked out the guy last week. So.
Oh, really?
I don't think that I'm quite there yet, but.
You choked him out though, right?
I did.
Yeah. So you're a purple belt.
Not yet.
How long have you been doing like jiu-jitsu?
So if you look in the Academy archives, they host this tournament called Submission Hunt, or they used to.
Yeah.
And my name was in a tournament in 2012. So I've actually...
What?
I did jiu-jitsu for like a few months and then quit for a decade. But I started jiu-jitsu in like 2011 or 2012.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. I was in the teenage division.
Were you living? Because weren't you like Saint?
I was in the sticks.
Yeah. So how did you?
It was just like I came up for the weekend for a tournament.
So let's start. You got to tell your career now. What's the Trap George lore with martial arts?
It's funny you ask.
Okay.
So I started out really fat, and I was
Mhm.
really good at Halo 3 and World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, and Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I can see where this is gonna go into
So then
clear
I
path here
then
to.
I was in baseball. I've been in baseball since like Little League. That's what I've done more than anything.
Hmm.
I didn't really take it seriously. It was just to hang out with the homies, and we would do batting practice in the wrestling room. This is before like I did any grappling or anything. And then we would just wrestle afterwards and like do submissions. And I was just getting pwned by everybody.
How old were you?
Ninth or eighth grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So another thing to keep in mind is like I graduated high school when I was 17. I was
Yeah.
always a year younger than my grade. And I hit puberty late.
Mm-hmm.
So I was younger and a late bloomer.
Oh yeah.
So I was like baby fat until 11th grade.
Damn.
It was
Really?
tough. Yeah, I didn't even talk to a girl till like 11th grade. Like no interactions
Damn.
pretty much. Yeah. And then so I wanted to like start winning wrestling matches after baseball. So then my mom would drive me to St. Cloud once a week, which was like an hour away. And talking about driving to go train. So shout out to my mom for that. And then I did it at some strip mall in St. Cloud. It wasn't like
Wait.
Start or anything. It wasn't any known gym.
Where did you grow up?
Glenwood,
Where is that? I thought it was like southern Minnesota for some reason.
Northwest. It's right by Alexandria.
Okay, so you had St. Cloud close.
Mhm.
Okay.
Kind of close. It was like an hour each way.
And when was this? You said when you started the martial arts?
Probably like ninth grade, the end of ninth grade. So
Okay.
then I did jujitsu for a few months. I did a tournament, and I beat this guy. I beat like 2 or 3 other chubby teenagers.
Damn.
Yeah. Then
That's
I was
impressive.
like, this shit is sick.
Yeah.
I was doing gi. I thought gi was so cool.
Yeah.
Little did I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I started doing wrestling because I heard you can lose weight. So then I became less fat. I was like 235, 240. And then the next, like when I joined, and then the next year, I was 182 in the 182 weight class.
Damn.
So I also hit puberty. It was like,
It's like 50 pounds you lost.
yeah, it happened quick. But then I got my first girlfriend too. So there might be some relation there. I don't think girls like obese guys as much as I would like them to.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't know. There's some dad bod trend that's resurfaced, but
Yeah.
for the most part, probably not. So wrestled a little. It was just in the sticks. The competition wasn't that stiff.
Yeah.
And then I went to state my senior year, and that allowed me to walk on when I went to Moorhead, college at Moorhead. So then I did D2 for a year. And I was like, wow, I like beating people. And people are pretty freaking good in college. So
Oh.
then I only did 1 year of that. And then I kind of just partied for a few years.
That was at Moorhead, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It didn't work out. So
That didn't.
it wasn't, I mean, honestly, I think that if I would have been wrestling since a little kid, I'd probably be pretty freaking sick at it.
Yeah.
But it's all in the past. So then I just partied, whatever, and just worked. I had a job, and then I moved to the cities after college, after I graduated. And then I had this job where I traveled a lot, all over the world. So I started training at the same time, but like real casually. And then I was like, this is too sick. I can't be traveling all over the place. So then I got a different job where I could be here more. And then I'm just kind of, it's just really fun. I like martial arts.
And then, so when did that tournament happen then? That you did the one for the academy?
That was like 2011 or 2012. I was in high school. No, that was like 2010, probably.
So you were like 9th grade?
It was either beginning of 10th grade. Yeah, beginning of 10th grade. 2011, I think.
And you
2010, 2011, somewhere in there.
How many jiu-jitsu tournaments did you end up doing when you were doing?
I think I just did like 2. They were both the academy ones, submission hunt.
What gym were you training at?
I don't know. I was under Bernie Williamson. and Sean N. But they're students of Brock's.
Oh yeah.
But they just had a little offshoot gym that I went to. So, yeah, they were the people that taught me in the very beginning.
So then, when you came to the academy, you already had experience.
Kind of. I had more wrestling than anything. My jiu-jitsu was pretty low.
How do they do it there? Like when you start training with like the MMA team and stuff.
There's a lot of different paths people have. Honestly, some wrestlers join the gym and they're there on day one.
Yeah.
Which I don't really understand how they do that, because it took me like a year and a half or 2 years of training at the academy to do MMA training.
Really?
Yeah, and that only happened because I was just going to do TBAs, and then I wanted to like spar with them and stuff with the MMA team.
Oh, so you were already planning on doing the TBAs, and then you kind of told them, and then they're like, oh.
Pretty much. Because,
yeah, there is a lot of like random guys that'll come through too, and dude, sometimes you don't know like where, like, because sometimes like when Rose and them come in, like they brought that Alonzo dude. Like that dude is a tank too. When he's not like fighting at light heavyweight, dude, he's massive. Huge. He is so big, dude.
He's so buff.
But
he's a gentle, humble beast.
Yeah, too. So you never know who's like gonna be in there, right? So it's like,
yeah,
like they could be like brand new guy, like you said, like a wrestler on day one, or you're like, and nobody really introduces them, so you're just like touch gloves, and then you're sparring them, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna start out slow here, see what.
Yeah, I remember like right when I started training at 11, I don't know how I convinced my jobber. I traveled a bunch. I was like, hey guys, I just started doing martial arts, so I'm gonna be gone from like 11 to 1 every day. And they're like, all right, just get your 40 hours, whatever, come early and stay late, whatever. Yeah. And then I would travel a lot. Like I'd be gone for like a week, and I'm like, I need a new job. I can't train.
How old were you when you went into your job and said that?
Probably like 22 or 23.
It's so funny, dude. Yeah. And that's how you started this?
Yeah. Then I was like, I need to do something for myself so I have more time.
Yeah.
And now I just don't train at 11 ever.
Yeah.
It's just like no time. But I don't know. It's been good for like doing the 5:30.
You can only imagine you hire some 20 or 22-year-old kid, and they just got out of college, and they're getting their job here, and they come up to you and go like, listen, I'm a martial artist. 11 to 1, I'm blocked off. All right, work around me, okay?
Pretty much.
This is what I'm doing.
It would have been one thing if I was like really good at my job and they needed me, but this was like, so the job was I was installing machines on production lines for med device companies. It was like pretty technical, and like you needed a lot of like you had to read schematics and like troubleshoot these huge complicated machines, and I didn't know shit. I didn't know anything about it. So it's pretty much like me going somewhere and like calling back and having them walk me through it. There were some processes like installing machines and like calibrating them. They would do that like yearly. I could do that just fine. So like the really easy stuff, that was easy.
Yeah.
But anytime I had to troubleshoot, I was pretty bad at it.
That is funny, dude. And then you go in there and tell them, you're like, hey,
dude, I've like just from working a few years, like since graduating college, I've gotten much better at like pushing towards an end goal.
Yeah.
But like I remember they gave me like this work laptop when I worked there, and I had my workstation, and it was like in the middle of this big shop area. And I would have like RuneScape open on one side.
No way.
And then like the managers would come by, and so I would try and like minimize it. But sometimes like they would just see it. So I can only imagine they were probably like not super sad to see me go.
Dude, you're such a menace.
I used to be a big menace when I partied a lot.
That is wild.
But yeah, so all of that for martial arts.
That's the way to do it, man. That's a good path.
I don't know if it's the best path. I feel like I could have done things differently.
What would you have done differently?
started wrestling earlier, started jiu-jitsu and striking much earlier.
Dude, I always say this though too, like obviously that's like if you didn't wrestle or like you only wrestled a little bit, everybody always says that too. Like that's like obviously once you do MMA, you're like, fuck, this would be so much easier if I just wrestled.
Yeah.
If I would have just wrestled, a lot of this shit would be a lot simpler, right? I just sniff their crotch and I'd win fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for real though, like if you were like my position was like in my position, like I started at the start of high school, right?
In martial arts?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I was like trying to do every martial art. Like I just,
ninth grade or what?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I just like fell obsessed with it. And then, dude, I would still spend my time like fucking doing like 2 sports trying to do this. But I went to St. Michael, Albertville, right? During that time, they were 4th ranked in the nation. Apple Valley was like 2nd in the nation. Like we just had killers. Like it was like they still like St. Michael Wrestling. Like you know that is just like
they're good.
They're fucking great.
Yeah.
And I'm wasting all my time too, like just trying to like I wanted to wrestle. My parents were like, I had to trick my mom and dad into like letting me like sign me up to martial arts. Like they didn't know what MMA or UFC was. But I wanted to box, right? I just wanted to learn how to fight because once I got into high school, dude, like you just start seeing people just like start fist fighting and shit. And you're like, what in the world?
There was fist fights at St. Michael?
Yeah, so like you're like you see that shit and you're like, what the fuck? Like you're like, I need it. And like I had like low key, I had a target on my back because like I was like bullied on social media. Like I was getting cyber bullied. So by like fucking high schoolers, dude. They're while I'm like in 8th grade. And like I remember we went to like the carnival, not the carnival, like you know every city has like their days.
Oh yeah.
So I went there and I
What's
remember
St. Michael's called?
Well, nobody goes to the St. Michael one. They go to
Oh.
the Albertville one. It's Albertville City Days.
City Days.
Yeah, they call it Shitty Days.
Okay.
But yeah, I was going into high school, so it was during the summer during that, and one of those guys cyberbullying me was like went up to like one of my friends and was like, "Which one is Andy?"
He didn't even
like,
know you?
No, they were like they went up to like I think I was hanging out with this girl, and he was like, "Which or who's Andy?" And she's like, "It's him." And I was like sitting there and like, you know, I shopped at Zoomies, so I had like the Zoomie like skater fit on, just
Hell
like
yeah.
like this small little fucking scrawny kid looking dumb as hell. And then I remember like when they were like cyberbullying me, it was randomly like they just had randomly found a picture on my Instagram and just started commenting, like making fun of me, tagging each other, like 3 different high school guys. And it was, to be fair though, like if you saw the picture they were on, like I needed to be cyberbullied, right? Like it was like, dude, I had like the Beats by Dre, like flash pick in the mirror, like a muscle tee on, like a snapback like this, you know? So
Yeah.
I needed to be cyberbullied, you know? But yeah, so I was like fucking nervous as shit going into high school. And you always hear like rumors too, like, dude, you'll just get fucking punched, dude. Like just like dumb shit, you know? Like, oh, you're a freshman, dude. The seniors will just come up to you and punch you. You know, you're gonna get knocked out, dude. And they'll tell you like I remember one story someone was saying was like the freshmen got like deer piss dumped on them.
Damn.
And shit. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I don't even, you know, I bet 90% of the shit's not even true, but you just get nervous. And like I already got like fucking like picked up and slammed on a school bus because you ride with the high schoolers, right?
Wait, how old are these? Like seniors or what grade are we talking here?
When? Like when I was
Who's bullying you as 9th graders? Is it 10th graders?
No, I was in 8th grade when I started getting cyberbullied.
Oh.
This was going into high school, right? So this was like the
Okay.
summer about to go in. And I don't know, they were just being stupid. Like I mean, they were probably just like tagging each other if I remember. Like they were just like tagging each other and like just kept shots at me in the comment section, you know?
Yeah.
And me being, I don't remember what I said, but I for sure probably said some shit like, "You won't do shit, you punk ass bitches." Like some, you know, like dude, I'll show you pictures of me too. Like back in middle school, like I look like a skinhead. Like I had like a shaved head and shit, and like no reason for it too. I thought I looked like cool. Like I thought I was like a gangster too, for sure. Like for sure. like deserved probably to be bullied. Like I definitely was like I thought I looked like a fucking like hardcore gangster. Like I thought I looked cool.
Yeah.
But honestly, I just looked like a fucking like probably like a leukemia patient, you know? Like I had no reason to shave my head, but I just had like a buzz cut. Wore like Zoomies clothes, you know? You remember like the skater style, like the swag stuff?
Well, those were too small for me to fit into.
Yeah. What?
Anything cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You were just
I was
so
pretty fat
bad,
kid.
yeah. But I wore like baggy clothes too, you know, and like sagged my pants and shit.
Wait, so what happened in City Days?
I mean, nothing. The guy, like one of the guys that I was talking shit back to that was like commenting, like had said something to like one of the girls sitting there that I was hanging out.
Yeah.
Because he like knew that girl or something, but was just like asked which one of them I was. And like immediately I was like, okay, I'm about to get my ass kicked. Like I talked all this shit back to them too. So I was like sitting there and he just like kind of looked at me. I don't know. He just like he just mugged me. Like what do you call that? You know, when you do that, like.
He was mad dogging you?
Yeah, you know, like, yeah. So I was embarrassed. So I don't know. I just thought like, and then you start seeing like video, like honestly, we like at St. Michael too, there was like a famous like it went viral, like a world star hip hop knockout dude of like one of the fights I remember. Like the dude like knocked a kid out before the tray even touched the ground. It was
Holy
like
shit.
Yeah, and he was like some like all-state, multiple state time like champion wrestler from St. Michael, and like some dumb skinny like skater kid tried to like fight him. Like he went and pushed him like from behind. The dude looks so much more massive than this dude. Like if you're watching it, like I remember like the comments were all like, what the fuck was this guy thinking? But he just fucking pushes this like state champion wrestler from behind. Guy turns around like because he was about to dump his tray, turns around, doesn't say a single thing, just lets the tray go, throws a punch, and the kid's on the ground before that tray even hit the ground.
Damn.
Yeah. But like shit like that, like you just start like in middle school, like there's no fights really, but so I was like I need a box, dude. Like I need a.
That's when you started?
Yeah. So I think you just want to be too like somebody that nobody fucks with too when you're in high school, so it just makes it easier too. So like that's kind of like, if I'm being honest, like I just want it to be like not to be fucked with.
Do you know where Bruton, Belgrade, or El Rosa is?
No, I don't know what you just said.
There's 3 different really small towns.
Yeah.
It's actually where Cannon's from.
Really?
It's called BBE School District.
Yeah.
They have City Days. It's called Bonanza Days.
Okay, yeah.
And I was going into my senior... I think I was going into like my senior year, and this is like one of the first few times I had drank. We would just... You guys had street dances, right?
What's street dances? I don't know.
It's like like some old school cover band. They'll like block off a section in the street, and they'll put up a stage, and they'll like put up a beer garden. And
Oh yeah.
So there was a street dance there, and this was like 10 minutes from my hometown. And I was just with some homies there, and we were boozing for one of the first times ever. And I had a little bit of jiu-jitsu just those few months, and then kind of like what you said, this dude just comes up to me from another school. He was actually a state champion basketball player. So he's credentialed as well. Yeah. So he's like, just like picks me out of the group, and he's like
for no reason.
Well, I was probably being obnoxious.
Yeah.
I don't know what the reason was, but maybe I deserved it.
Yeah.
I can't say if I did or not. But he like picks me out, and he's like challenges me to a fight. And I'm like, I've never been in a fight. I've only done like a year or 2 of wrestling or no jiu-jitsu tournament. So I'd never been punched or punched anyone else like ever. And then he invites me to like a block or 2 away from the street dance.
Oh, this is
it's
like
the city park. And there's a bunch of chicks from the other school there too. And like his homies were there. Like I had recognized some of the guys from wrestling. Like there were some good wrestlers there, and it was like Fight Club, and everyone got in a big circle around us. This is like a few blocks from the street dance. It's like a not lit area. It's a city park.
Yeah.
Everyone gets around us in a big circle, and then it's like, holy shit, this is about to happen. And I'm like, I'm drunk. I'm still fat as well. So I think he was like, he's not a huge basketball player. He's maybe like 6 foot or something, but
Yeah.
he had a lot of speed on me, I remember. And then I'm like, okay, well, fuck it, here we go. Actually, I took 1 or 2 Jeet Kune Do classes.
Oh shit.
So I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
My stance was like this. And I come out, and I had my right foot forward. I didn't know what Southpaw Orthodox was. And then I punched him in the face, I remember. And like nothing happened.
Oh no.
So like I punched him, and he like didn't even flinch. But I was like, holy shit, like I landed the punch, like pop. And then he like starts punching me back. He's just like way faster, just like kind of opening up on me. And then he's piecing me up pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember how this happened. Maybe I like took a bad shot and I didn't finish it. He had me in a front headlock, and then he just starts kneeing me in the face.
Like
His
like
knee.
a bulldog choke where your head's like your back's behind that way and he's in front.
It was like a front headlock,
Oh,
kind of like a guillotine front headlock type thing. It was in some position where he put his knee right into my nose.
Yeah.
And then I was boom, 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 getting hit in the face with the knee. And it's like one punch to like, the strikes are like 1 to 20 pretty much right now.
Oh yeah, it's not good on
So
your
I'm
end.
getting beat up, and then I just like hook his leg,
Yeah.
and he falls down.
Oh, there we
And
go.
he gave me his back, and I had enough jujitsu to jump on the rear naked choke. It was kind of like last week,
Yeah.
except I was getting beat up, and then I choked him out, and he tapped, and there's this. I'm serious. There was like 30 or 40 people in a big circle around us, and that was the most epic thing I'd probably done until MMA fights. And I remember I stood up and I was like, "Jiu-jitsu, bitch!" And then my
dude.
face, like, if you just like looked at us, I looked like the loser for sure, because my face was a mess. I was like bloody nose. I was messed up.
Yeah.
But some girls from his high school like brought me to their car and like gave me a towel and alcohol and stuff, and told me like, good job, he's such a dick and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was my first fight in the day. I'm still undefeated in the streets.
Damn.
That's
okay.
not to say like I fight talented fighters.
Yeah, but
It's because like street fights are stupid, and there's no winners or losers.
Yeah.
Everyone's a loser actually. But that day I was the winner. And I actually saw him a few years later in college in a dorm. And
Really?
And we squashed the beef.
Really?
Yeah. But that was another thing that set me on this path.
Jiu-jitsu, bitch.
Jiu-jitsu, bitch. Yeah.
Dude, that's such like the typical like white belt finishes a street fight. Like they get the fucking piss kicked out of them, but they finish with like some triangle choke, and they're like, oh, and then they're like, yeah, they're all fucked up.
But when you just said the city days thing,
Yeah.
it made me think of Bonanza days.
How many street fights have you had? A lot.
Probably like 20,
Damn.
something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, sometimes they're not like fights. And honestly, I don't really, it's kind of like my MMA fights. Like I don't really punch people. It's more of like grab them and wrestle.
Yeah.
Also, when I was younger, I was pretty selective with who I would engage with.
You
Like,
gotta be, dude.
If it's like a big, huge, good wrestler, I'd rather
Exactly.
be his friend.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was kind of some of the crew that I ran with too. It's not like me picking fights. It's like,
Yeah.
George is here. We're gonna do whatever we want,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna involve him somehow. So I've been in a few street fights, but
Damn, 20. I definitely did
Something
not
like
think
that.
that. Yeah.
that's like a rough estimate.
Damn, but yeah, you get down in the streets.
I used to when I was in my early 20s, but
Was it mostly in like college those street fights happened? Yeah.
yeah, mostly college stuff. I don't think I've been involved in one since graduating college. Probably not like six years or so.
Damn.
But Muay Thai fights are a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Doing like a sanctioned fight is way cooler.
Definitely is. Yeah. But I don't know. Street fights are fun because
there's some epic street fights I've been in, like huge melees, like
really?
like 15 people involved kind of thing.
Dude,
those are fun. Not fun. That's not the right word. But like afterwards, like recalling what happened with all your homies.
Yeah.
There's some fun to that.
Yeah. We had one time, a kid from our school, like another kid who went to school next to ours had moved to our school.
Is STMA just like a war zone or what?
No, why you say that?
Oh, I just thought another City Days fight or something.
No, this is gonna be crazy. This one will make you think that because this one is actually kind of crazy, but it's just a big school, I guess. But they had this kid came here, and I think he moved from another like a school next to ours. But what I remember is like he called somebody the N-word, and so the kid's like popular and like I don't remember how all these people accumulated, but I remember it was on like people's stories and stuff, and it was gonna be like Rogers versus like St. Michael, right? And so all because he dropped the N-word on Instagram or something to this guy. So
damn, he said it online.
Yeah. So,
can't do that.
Yeah. So he grabbed all his friends from like Rogers, we thought, right? So they were like, the word was like, get all these guys, right? And like, because it's gonna be a big like just brawl, right? And we're like, damn. So all these like people that are behind our guy, because which is weird, like the guy went to our school too, so it was even more awkward once after this happened, and during like you would see the guy walking in the hallways. So I don't know on his part why he thought that was a good idea, but that just shows you how smart that dude is. Like he's probably not too smart calling someone the N-word, but then also like you're going to that school too.
Yeah.
So
wait, he called someone at his school the N-word? Or
no, he called someone. Well, because he went to our school, he moved from the other school, right?
Oh, so like someone he knew previously when he went to school there? Or?
No, he went to a different school, right? He came to St. Michael, okay?
Yeah.
And he called dude the N-word. Like he called a black dude the N-word.
Yeah.
And like, so they were going to fight each other, but then the guy was like, it somehow turned into like all of our St. Michael guys against him, right? Because we were like, you know, you don't drop the N-word, you know, or some, I don't know. Somehow it turned into like two different people. So we're going to go. So people just started gathering up, and I remember I get a call. I said, dude, we need you. You're like martial artist, right? Or like, I didn't fought at this time. I was like a junior, but I had like a couple years, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, you got to come over to so-and-so's place.
He's got a clinch.
Yeah, he's got a heavy bag, dude. You got to show us some stuff real quick because we're going to go. And he's like, it's going to be massive. We need as many people. Bring as many people as you can. So many people came, dude, right? And I remember like warming up on a heavy bag in some dude's basement. I'm like, yeah, you're going to do this. Dude. I'm like, I've never had a fight either at this point.
That was when you started coaching.
Yeah, that was my first time. That's my coaching arc, dude. And so I had done like a bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments. So, I mean, I definitely I had experience there. But anyways,
yeah.
All these people are getting ready, and like we go to like the rec center, right? That's like a big like area with like parks and like just a big open area. And dude, when I tell you there were so many people, we started pulling in. We pulled our car and we just saw like our fucking whole school was there, dude. Like hundreds of people were there, right? It was not like just like a handful. And we kept seeing a conveyor of cars coming in. Like the parking lot to this huge like rec center park was like packed out. So like people were parking on the streets, and we keep seeing a conveyor of like just cars pulling in, people coming out. And we would always think, okay, this is them coming up, right? This is the guys, because there'd be another conveyor. It'd be more people from our school coming.
Damn, you're not even warmed up at that point.
Yeah, and like some were just coming to watch, but like there was a big group that was gonna be in this fucking brawl against the other school, right? And so, yeah, we keep seeing so many people are coming. It turned into like a whole ordeal. Like it took like this guy, we kept changing locations. Like the guy kept going like, that's not convenient, come here. So we're like, pack in, let's go. Dude, just through the town of St. Michael, dude, you just see fucking just a conveyor of cars just going there.
Damn.
And like when I'm saying hundreds, I'm not exaggerating, it was hundreds of kids going to brawl. So finally, dude, we're chasing where this dude is, because one time we even seen him like drive past, and he's just like, dude, you can imagine dude, him just driving past with, we thought like it'd be a bunch of people. He brought like, dude, maybe like 6 people. we did not give him a chance, dude. So he would be driving past, and we'd see him like, that's him, dude. He's just, and then he would keep changing it, trying to get more people.
Wait,
Dude.
was there more than one black person there, or was it like 100 white people and one black?
No, I
dude?
mean, obviously, I don't know. I guess I can't figure numbers right now, but there's a lot of white people, but there was probably there was black people. But speaking of which, this is where this is going to get funny, where black people come into account here later, right?
Okay.
Because remember, it was all predicated off him calling a black guy at our school the N-word. But then we got to like a block. Dude, we ended up moving to Albertville from St. Michael. We went from the edge of like St. Michael all the way to the edge of like Albertville. So we finally get there. We shut off like a city, like we because we all had our cars, right? And we knew cops were going to come. Which is so, we were at the rec center, but not like a big open field. Now we decided to do it on concrete in the middle of the street with hundreds of kids lining the street. Dude, and it was, dude, and here's another funny, dude, I brought a fucking mouth guard. So I had my mouth guard in my pocket. Yeah, but they finally show up, and this is probably a 6-hour ordeal. Like, now people start leaving, like, this fucking sucks. Like, people are like, the energy's low now, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm leaving now. So there's still a lot of people now. Maybe we went from like hundreds to maybe like 50, 60. Still a lot of people, right? A lot of cars. So we blocked off like this whole street area, like across from like the highway, like the other. You ever been to Albertville where the mall is?
The outlet stores?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're across the highway. Like there's like some shitty apartment buildings, and then
Space aliens.
Yeah.
Oh,
Space aliens, bro. So we're kind of by there. And so like cops are going to get called quick. Like we're in a neighborhood screaming and shouting like, whoa, get ready. They're pulling up. They pulled up finally, dude. And he shows up. His group was outnumbered in terms of whites to blacks, right? He had a lot of black friends.
Yeah.
Which this whole started off of the N-word saying.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now this is getting a little sticky. This situation's getting a little weird now. So we don't really know. You know, you're at this point though, they're like face to face. Like it's fine, like the main event, and we're all like coming. But his guys are like standing off
You
our
guys
guys.
were finishing yourselves?
Yep. We're about to finish ourselves here. But the other dude finishes himself too quick because he must have not told his friends what the reason this whole was. And he's like, so right away they get face to face and everyone starts circling in. Some people are watching like on the road. And they're face to face, and the guy from our school just keeps like saying, you call me the N-word, we're doing that. Like he's going nuts. And this dude is actually the dude he called the N-word is fucking, dude, he was like a wrestler, big dude, like just like an animal in football.
Yeah.
Probably like 5'10", but jacked as hell. Like everyone always joked he was on steroids. Like he was loaded, like probably like 220 pure muscle, dude. Like defensive lineman, like abs though. Like he was not fat, like a jack dude.
Yeah.
So he's scary, dude, to fight. But he was fighting this big motherfucker too. That was like just a fat dude though. So he was gonna get his ass kicked, and he knows it too. But his friends, literally killed it too, because everyone's like screaming. We're all like circling up. I got my mouth guard in, dude. I'm fucking ready, dude. But his friends ruined the whole thing. The whole, like, we're right here about to fucking throw hands, and his friends go, he goes, what? Who said the N-word? What? Like, so we have to like, this whole thing kind of just dies out, and we have to explain, and the guy has to explain the situation. And he goes, I didn't know you were saying the N-word. What? And so now there's like a discussion between if this is going to happen. And he's only got like 10 dudes, right? So it's like they're outnumbered. They don't even want to do this. So now we start like going from that to like trying to discuss this situation. Like it turned into like, yeah, literally it turned into like that. So it started like I was like, yeah, what the fuck, to like, oh wow, this is dead. And then they're like, no, man, I didn't know he was saying the N-word. And then so he was like, I remember at some point his friends like started shaking our hands, going around and like shaking. And he's like, yeah, man, that's stupid. And then it would like heat up for a second, and he's like, well, let's go. And he's like, his friends were like, well, wait a minute. It was so dumb, dude. It was so dumb. But then by this time, like, we had guys, like, because there's like you could see in the houses, like, this time it's nighttime now, and you can see like people are peeking through their windows because you got 60 kids in there screaming at each other in the streets.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we hear the cop sirens, and we're like, that's definitely for us. But we had like literally blocked off streets with cars. So everyone's like, so we're there, and I'm like, all of a sudden it just turns into that, to it dies down, people talking, and then we're like, get in our cars, we're leaving. We're like, yeah, fuck you guys. So then we leave. No punches thrown. Yeah. Nothing even happened. So we get in our cars, and the cops pull up, dude, and it's just a free-for-all. All the, like, everyone just leaves, and the cops are like coming in. Dude, one of the cops literally like Tokyo drifted in there after he saw, like, it was so like overkill. Everything about this situation was overkill. But then we ended up leaving. The cops caught these dudes, but people were like leaving in their cars. Like, one dude was in a truck, this hick from our school, drove through these soccer fields in a neighborhood to get away. We went there the next day, and it was just like dug up, like with a fucking dude's truck. Mm-hmm. So people got caught, obviously. We pulled in to the apartments. Like, my friend, we got in quick. He dipped out. I actually rode with a different friend group leaving. I lost my other friend group in the big, that's how many people were there. Yeah. So I was like, Ben, let me get in your car. He's like, get in. He fucking genius, dude. Everyone's going. They just start going. They're just trying to run like one way into town, the other like to open back roads that are just farm fields. So you're gonna see headlights for miles. Yeah. So you're not gonna get away. Or you're going through town. You're gonna do an illegal flee from cops. You're gonna have to break a lot of laws. So he did the one genius thing that a lot of people didn't do. He pulled into the apartment buildings, cut the car. We pulled our seats down and just laid in the back, and we could just see the cars and cop cars just flying past. Dude, one cop car came and just like flashed their light and just skidded out of there super fast because they were just trying to catch as many cars as they could. Yeah. Cops came into my door later too. And my parents found out I was involved in this big thing. And then somehow, dude, they're like, the cop was like, there was a gun involved. There was no guns, dude. Like, not even close. Like, it turned in like to diplomacy, right? Yeah. So my mom was like, oh, what are you getting yourself into, Andy? Who are these people? And I did like the classic, like, I don't know nothing. And my dad was like standing there. He's like, Andy, if you know something, you're going to tell this officer right here. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know anything. I just saw the social media post, And he was like, no, I know you know more. He's like, doing a cop thing. Yeah. I was not about to say anything because I'm like, can't be a snitch, dude. Plus, if anyone finds out about that, dude, you're the one guy in the group that snitched out of all these people. But yeah, anyways, but then I remember what fucked me up, dude, was I was like, there was no gun though. I was like, no, there was no gun. He's like, I thought you didn't know anything about this. How do you know there's no gun? And then I'd be like, oh, but then I'd be like, I'd come back to it too. And I'd be like, nobody had a gun there. No, there was no guns. And he's like, so it kind of messed me up. I didn't get in trouble. He left after I like didn't say anything. But yeah, my mom was like crying because she found like the cop said a gun was there. And it's just rumors. Like he's like, yeah, they brought a bunch of thugs. Like, this is what the cop was saying to my mom. There's like, you know, gangbangers from Minneapolis. This guy knew him. And, you know, this guy, you know, that was fighting, you know, maybe he didn't bring the gun, but his friends he knew from Minneapolis, I'm hearing they brought a gun. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Damn.
It turned, yeah, my mom was like, I had to like calm her down, dude. And like, yeah, I remember like calling the guy too, that like the original dude that had gotten called the N-word or whatever, like the original dude that was gonna fight this dude. And I like was like on the phone with him telling him like, dude, you gotta figure something out, because my mom's like crying. They're saying there was a gun, and he was like, what the fuck, there was no gun.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, my mom's crying right now because she thinks I'm like involved in like gang banging from dudes from Minneapolis, dude.
Damn, that was even before Minneapolis got dangerous.
Yeah, I know, right?
One time the cops came to my house too when I was in like, I was a lot younger. I was like 4th or 3rd grade. And then we were prank calling just random people, and I didn't know what star 69 or star 67 was.
Yeah.
So we called the Taco John's or Taco Bell.
Wait, were you just calling people off your number so they just had your number?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so we were just playing soundboards. It honestly wasn't even that funny, but we thought it was very funny in like 3rd. It might have been 4th or 5th grade. And then, do you know what Duke Nukem is?
Duke Nukem?
He's the guy who says like it's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we were playing that one.
I just said that the other day in the locker room.
I think you did, actually, yeah.
I didn't even know where that came from.
Yeah, that's Duke Nukem. He has one line where he says, I'm going to cut off your head and shit down your throat. And we played that one to Taco Bell. and then we were laughing hysterically, and they just hung up. And then I was like, fuck, I should apologize. So I called them back and apologized.
You fucking called them back,
and
dude.
They're like, well, thank you for apologizing, but we did alert the cops of this already. And then me and
you made a threat that you're going to cut off their heads.
And it was like an adult man voice, not like a 5th grader. And then the cop showed up to my house. My grandma actually lived across the street at that time, and I had like cousins up too, and aunts and uncles. And so the cops pull up, and then like I came outside, and my entire family came out from across the street. And I was just like crying in front of the cops.
Oh man!
They're telling me it's like a terroristic threat and stuff. And then they realized that there was no threat. It was just a fat kid crying. So then they just gave me like a stern warning and left. But yeah, that was the day I learned about star 67.
Yeah. It's a handy tool to do, especially if you're prank calling. You might make sure to want that there.
Dude, we left like voicemails. We would just look through the phone book, like guys
the
and
phone
girls.
book, damn.
Yeah, this was a while ago. We were like leaving voice messages on people's home phone of like our classmates that were pranks, but like not private callers. So I think people found out who did it, but
I guess that's not the dumbest thing. Like, I've done dumber. I prank called the cops one time. I guess I wouldn't say I prank called them, but I definitely, like, I was really young. Like, I was not even like 10 probably. I was probably younger, but my parents would give us their phones that didn't work. This is the classic, everybody's done this as a kid, I think, but you know, like a flip phone, like it was one of before iPhones even were out.
Yeah.
But they're out of service.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a kid and you have a phone, you just think it's cool, right? You're like, I got a phone. It doesn't work.
Cool as fuck.
But there's one number that always works on a disconnected phone. Emergency numbers, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, I remember we were like pretending, like me and my cousins were like pretending, and I had to pretend to call the cops, and I was like, I have a phone here. I'm going to dial, and I'd go 911, and I dial it, and it starts ringing, and it doesn't do the ting, 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 ting. So right away I was like, 911, what is your emergency? And idea, right? What's a good idea at that point to do? Do you tell them an emergency or do you hang up? You hang up, right?
Probably hang up, yeah.
So as a kid, I was like, in my head, I thought I got to tell him something, right? So I tried to like look around to see. So I was like gonna say an emergency. Like this was something I literally was gonna do. But I was so like nervous too, like I couldn't finish what I was saying, so I hung up in the middle of like I can't remember what I was saying, but I was gonna say like something.
Yeah.
Like he's got a fucking gun. I don't know. But I was like I couldn't get it out because I was like, you don't know what you're gonna do when you're faced with that. Like I wasn't expecting 911. An operator's on the phone now. I'm about to lie. So I couldn't get it out. Like I was like stuttering, and I just like shut the phone. Cops did not come.
Really?
Okay. But same house. This was at my aunt's daycare. We would stay there when we were kids. My sister had my other parents' phone too, right? We weren't there when this was happening, but they're playing around again, right? And my mom or my sister, who has one of my parents' phones too, disconnected. She didn't know. I didn't tell anyone about the 911 thing. You know why? Because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I just acted like nothing happened. And I didn't think the cops could come. Like I hung up too, right?
Yeah.
This was later on. They must have. So my sister called the cops and was saying stuff to the police officers too. She also didn't have the bright idea to hang up the phone, right?
Oh.
So anyways, we're like sitting there, and I was outside like on their swing when I saw cop cars pulling up. And I was like, what the heck? And it wasn't, these kids, like they knew there was kids on the phone. The thing that saved it too was also my phone calls. Like they had gotten these things before. So they knew it was like something was going on. But we had to talk to the cops, and the cops, my aunt like opens up the door. She goes, get over here. So my sister and me are there. And I was like, they're saying, so you guys are calling the cops, you know, da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that wasn't me this time. And she goes, this time what? And they go, yeah, so there's been multiple calls from here. And so we just need you guys to know this is super serious. And then my sister was like crying, and she told them what she did and that she didn't know that 911 works. Mm-hmm. He goes, it's always going to work, and you can't call us for no reason. She's like, well, I didn't tell you where I was. Like she said something like that, and they're like, we can locate it. Yeah. They can just track where the phone is going. So they're like, this isn't the first time. So we got in big trouble that they found out that we were calling cops to a daycare, dude, with like other kids there, right?
Yeah. Damn.
That was a dangerous move.
Yeah, the cops used to be a lot more responsive. I remember I lived in Uptown like 2 years ago, and it was on Halloween, and there was like a tweaker blocking the entrance to my apartment building, like there is on most apartments in Uptown. And I called the cops, and just no one answered.
Nobody comes.
No, they didn't. It's not that they didn't come; just nobody answered.
What? Like the actual, like what happens? Is there a voicemail to leave, or what?
Just rang, and I sat in my car. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go in. I tried.
That's crazy.
It wasn't 911. It was just whatever, Uptown Police Department or something.
Yeah. It just no one's there.
No.
That's crazy. In St. Paul, I did that one time. So it says it's so an alarm is going off inside the building, I can see, and it says if alarm is flashing, call emergency immediately. So I'm like, this can't be right? And there's a bunch of water coming out of like, and it's like there's a parking garage on top. It's like in downtown St. Paul, and the building's underneath. Mm-hmm. So I see inside the alarms are going off too, right?
Yeah.
But there's also a bunch of water rushing out too. So I don't know. I'm like, it didn't rain, so I don't know. Maybe their sprinklers are going off, and this is where the water. I didn't know what was going on, or someone broke in. But I called the cops. I'm like, hey, and I was supposed to deliver like their menus that we did for them. I'm like, yeah, I can't get in there, but there's an alarm going off, and it says to call the cops if this is going off, right? And they're like, okay, we'll have someone there immediately. Just stay on the corner and wave them down. 20, 30 minutes go by, too. Nobody comes. And I call them again. Yeah. And I call them again, and I'm like, hey, where are you? I called. She's like, are you still in the corner? I'm like, yeah. There's no officer. There's no fire department, nothing. She's like, okay, Just stay tight. I see a couple cars passing by, like cop cars, squad cars, and I'm like waving at them. They just keep fucking going. I sit there for like another 20 minutes and I'm like, I'm leaving. And I called them and I'm like, hey, just so you know, I left. I'm not going to stay here.
Yeah.
You guys aren't coming. And they're like, oh yeah, we're busy. But actually somebody's already there. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, somebody's already there fixing the alarm issue. It's like, okay, well, I didn't see anyone, but thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
Nobody came up to me, told me I could go.
I live downtown St. Paul right now, which is something I never thought I'd be able to say.
Mm-hmm.
I live with my shorty there. We live in a really nice like condo. It's like a really big studio. And it's just in the heart of downtown though, so
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like just people clearly selling drugs on every corner. Just standing with a backpack, handing people a bag. There's a lot going on down there.
Yeah, actually, when I was waiting outside there, a girl was walking past us on the street, and I was telling her the situation I'm in. She's like, yeah, we watched some person get carjacked right in front of us. I was like, oh, wow. She's like, yeah, they told me the same thing you're doing, and we waited there for a half hour. We ended up just leaving because nobody came.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
One day, I open up this window to like smoke weed out the window. And one day, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was standing out the window, and I watched some guy pick up a big cinder block and just break through a truck windshield.
Well, you just saw this?
Yeah, he tried to do it, but the window wouldn't break. Like, so then he went from the rear window and he got through.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't know what the deal was, but I watched him get arrested that day.
Wait, you put that on your story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty entertaining, honestly.
Yeah.
There's always some stuff going on.
Yeah, I remember you said you're like, I need to get the fuck out of Uptown.
Uptown has its own issues. They're pretty comparable, downtown St. Paul and Uptown.
Yeah. My tattoo guy's over there. So every time I get like tatted, I'm leaving at like 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, fuck, dude. I got to walk to a parking garage, dude. There was one time, dude, I saw one. Dude, like a tweaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started... Where were they? They started, like, you know how, like, they got the stairs in the garage so you can see in there, like, the window. It's like a little box, like, telephone booth type thing. Mm-hmm. So you can see in there. They were there, right? And so I, like, walk up to my thing, and he was up there all of a sudden. So I saw him, like, and then he's up there by the time, like, I'm in my car already driving out. And I'm like, fuck, dude. So I got to go do, like, round, like, I got to go all the way around, you know. You can't just, like, I should have just went wrong way and left, but I got to go all the way to get out. So I'm going down. Mm-hmm. And then the guy's back down, dude, where the, like, he sees me. I drive past him to leave, and by the time I do my thing to get all the way to the exit, he's back down there, dude. And he wasn't doing anything weird, but he was just staring at me, dude, just looking at me. So I was just like, oh, fuck. I'm, like, fidgeting with you got to pay. You're like, please swipe again. You're like, oh, dude, I was, like, looking at him. I was ready to floor it and bust through the fucking arm of it, dude.
Yeah. Little did he know that by not approaching you, he saved his own life.
Yeah. But, I mean, dude, yeah.
So what would you do if, like, someone approached you in the street? Would you try and clinch them or switch kick right away?
Yeah. Get out of here.
One time I was in a parking ramp. This is when I was in college, but I came to the cities for a weekend, and I was just trying to find some blow, and there's this guy who was, like, giving out samples on this corner. So
You're fucking with me.
No, this is why I don't go into parking ramps alone. So then I, like, did a sample, and it seemed like it was legit blow. And then I didn't have any cash on me. I was also in college, so I didn't have any cash anywhere, like, to my name.
He didn't have it.
But he didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the plan was, but I, like, was like, okay, I need an ATM so I can buy this blow from you. And then he brings me to this parking ramp. Dude, I don't know. I was drunk, but, like, there was no
You went in a Coke dealer's car? Did they take you, or did you just walk? You walked with him to an ATM.
We walked away from the bar to a parking ramp so we could access this ATM.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had no money to my name. So I was, like, putting my credit card in to, like, I didn't even have a debit card on me. Like, there was no way that cash was going to be given to me from this machine.
Yeah.
And then I like put my card in, and it's like enter the amount you want, and I just wanted like $50 or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And he's like reaches over me and tries to put in like 500 real quick.
Oh my gosh.
But there's not $500, and I'm like, hey, what the heck? Like, I saw that, and then he, and then he just punches me in the face and leaves. Yeah, there was no fight. Like, I didn't retaliate. He just punched me, and he got me good. I was leaking real bad, and then I went back to the bar. Just a bloody mess again.
Yeah.
And then I like went into the bathroom. I lost my friends by then. So then I like wiped my face off, and then I had to call one of my friends to get me an Uber.
That is wild, dude.
Then I just went to bed after that.
You're a menace.
Yeah. So that's
Can
why
I
I don't
piss
go.
real quick?
Yeah.
Piss real
Go
quick.
for it.
You just gonna talk on there? Do you want a rogue?
Dude, I'm good. I feel better after taking a break from the pouches. That second one was too much for me. Do you have any time constraints or anything?
No.
Okay.
You just pause it, or what do you do? You just gonna keep.
I'll probably pause it.
You don't gotta pee.
Not at the moment.
It's impressive.
Pretty dehydrated. I did some Muay Thai today.
You did?
Yeah, this morning.
What'd you eat after?
Well, can I tell you what I ate before and then after?
Yeah.
So on my way there,
Did you start it again?
Yeah, it's going.
Oh, sweet.
So I brought some fruit. I have some Tupperware of like some. Let me grab it. It's like probably the best option I could have eaten all day.
Oh, nice.
So like some grapes and some pineapple.
Like Hy-Vee or something?
Yeah.
Nice.
This is what I was planning on eating, and then I was on my
That's
way.
it? Like before training?
Well, yeah, at least before training.
Yeah.
And then on my way there, I do this thing where it's so quirky. I'll stop at a gas station and I got an ice cream sandwich and some Ferrero Rochers right before training.
Yeah.
And then, which if that was all that I had that was bad, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. It's only like 500, 600 calories. So I would have been okay with that.
But like before training, that's some hard hitting shit. Like that's some like heavy ice cream and like.
Yeah, I like an insulin spike, so I feel fatigued as soon as I start training. It's really good. It helps me sleep too.
Trains the mental too.
Exactly.
Damn.
Because then when I do diet, then it's like it's like taking ankle weights off.
Yeah, I've found that like you got some methods and you're just like a fucking head of the game. Like between that, the diet, Dr. Pepper, and
I had to cut out the DDP.
that's sad.
I'm mostly water. So then I did some Muay Thai, just that morning sparring class. And then after that, I wanted to do MMA, but there was no one there for it. It was just me and Coach Andy. And he's like, why don't you...
For the MMA class?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not a good turnout usually on Saturdays. But either way, then that got 86th. So then
For the MMA training it did?
For today, there was no MMA training. And then I went to Cub Food to get some hard-boiled eggs and some like microwavable rice. And I also got 2 donuts while I was there. And then I warmed up some of the rice. I had to go to Speedway to use the microwave, so then I got three more donuts. And then
Jeez.
And then I had a few eggs and some rice.
It's a wild diet, bro. I'm like that though. Like honestly, I'm like not. I just fucking. I'm random like that too. Hard boiled eggs too. On top of that.
It's like once I sign a contract and there's like a fight that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at locking in most of the time.
Yeah.
This camp I was really good. I went to Culver's and went crazy like once during the camp.
Yeah, I remember that you were telling me that. Yeah. I was like, "Fuck, you gotta lose 15 pounds," you know. You're like, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like 25 right now. I've gained 25 pounds since last
So you're like
weigh-in.
215? 220?
I was like 210,
Or not
211.
220. Do you know I got up to 220? Did I tell you that when that happened? Yeah.
Uh,
After my last fight, when I had like busted ribs, like I got up to like 220.
dude.
I mean, I had like a sweatshirt and like my normal clothes on or whatever when I weighed in at the doctor's.
Yeah.
But like they probably like they're doing my blood work and shit before a fight, so they probably when they did a weigh in and I'm like 190, 185-ish range, like
Yeah.
right before a fight, and they see 220, they're like, what the fuck? This kid there's something not right with him.
Do you have a doctor you always go to? Or like a clinic
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah. Because it's just easier that way too, because they know like already pull up like the hepatitis, whatever HIV blood work you have to do, you know? So
Yeah.
just there, you know.
I accidentally went to a care provider not in my insurance network for my last blood draw, like in February.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they just did the hepatitis whatever test, you know. And then they like sent me the bill for like $800, and I'm like, probably just not gonna pay this.
Yeah. Wait, how did you accidentally do that? Because when you check in, they make you hand in an insurance card, right?
So they got like my number ID, primary ID, whatever it is, but I was still waiting because open enrollment had just ended. Insurance is so gay, but open enrollment had just ended, and then I was waiting to get my card, the actual card with like my network and info and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just like I just should have waited till I got that to know for sure, but you live and you learn. I actually got a letter from Medica or whoever the insurance people are saying like they charged you more than they're allowed to.
That seems so like shitty to do to someone. Like they didn't tell you before, like this isn't getting covered, or
I don't think they can check because they like send the check afterwards or the bill afterwards.
yeah, no, but like for me, like dentist, like I had to like, for example, I'm waiting for my dentist to get back from maternity because the one that will be filling in won't be covered by my insurance, if that makes sense. Is
Yeah.
what they told me. So they know before, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the doctors, like every time I go to like a checkup or when I go to do my blood work for a fight, they immediately ask for my insurance card too.
Mm-hmm.
And or if they don't, like I know I went to like, I've done any blood test now or like any test now, and it's not $800. Like I think, I don't know how they got that number, but like most of the time, even if they don't check your card, they're like, are you still with Health Partners for your
Yeah.
insurance? Like they always check that.
I've learned that
So they definitely check, I'm pretty sure. Like they probably knew. That's pretty shitty of them if they did.
Oh, well, it's like
800's insane though.
yeah. So I was a waiter at Olive Garden in college.
Wait 1 second. Wait, so was it just the fight test, the fight trio thing you had to do?
I don't think they have like a set or a specific fight trio thing. I like specifically requested what I needed.
Yeah, it's literally called the fighter panel. The fighter like panel. It's literally called that. Like the doctors, if you go in there, because it's under a commission. Like they know what to do. It's like there's a name to it.
Maybe I said the wrong name then or something. But I gave them a sheet and I'm like, I need this.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be $800.
That's
sir.
so crazy. And all they did was take your blood?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the needle is only like $20,
Yeah.
but the tests are what really
Yeah. The
cost.
needle was only 20.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I was a bartender/server at Olive Garden in college.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, having done that, and my girlfriend is a nurse. So I realized, like, healthcare, it's just like a restaurant where they charge really expensive meals.
For sure.
Pretty much. Like, the nurses are actually servers. Like, they walk around, like, they go and check on their tables, clients, patients, whatever. And yeah, it's just
Never
a
thought of it
business.
that way.
I didn't either until my girlfriend started telling me all about what she does and stuff. They definitely have way more technical knowledge than like a server does.
You
like,
think?
I mean, I know more about wine than probably most nurses do, and
Yeah.
like what's in the tour of Italy. But for the most part, it's pretty similar.
What is in the tour of Italy?
Well, it's fed. It's 3 different things. It's 3 entrees.
Yeah.
It's actually has the second most calories, I think, on anything on their menu.
That's saying something at Olive Garden.
Dude, Olive Garden is actually one of the most unhealthy places to eat, bar none. Like, actually, compared to, like, McDonald's, Burger King, anything, the calories are outrageous.
Yeah.
But it's fettuccine Alfredo, chicken parm, and lasagna.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
I can't eat Olive Garden, dude. It hurts me. Dude, on my birthday, I was on the floor. No, I didn't go to Olive Garden for my birthday, if that's what you're wondering. We were just celebrating my girl's, my girlfriend's mom's birthday, and my birthday are literally, she's the day before, I'm the day after. Mm-hmm. And we literally, all we had was Olive Garden soup right before. Like, it was just like, because there's a bunch of people there. So it was just like soup we had.
Yeah.
And I ate a ton of it, dude, and it's
pretty good.
Dude, I was on the floor of my bathroom, like, I was like so nauseous, and it's every time I eat at Olive Garden, it's always like that. But this one got me good. Like, I had the shower running. I couldn't even get in, dude. I was just like on the floor, like slowly taking off like one piece of clothing before I could like crawl into that fucking shower. Like, I didn't want to say anything because I was like, I don't know. When I get sick, like, I just want to be like left alone, you know, like, especially like if I'm going to throw up. I don't want people knowing I'm going to throw up either.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if I just randomly get up out of here right now and I just start walking away and I don't say anything, it's because I'm going to go throw up. So if that ever happens, like I did with that one dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, don't ever throw elbows until you have 5 fights. And then I left. And then, anyway, so I just did that and I just was like, I need to take a shower. She's like, it's like midnight. Don't you just want to go back to my house so we can go to bed? I was like, yeah, but I need a shower.
Yeah.
She's like, all right. And I just was sitting on the floor dying from Olive Garden. Went there again, dying. Was like, I'm not going to get their soup.
Maybe it's a gluten allergy.
But it was the soup. Is that...
Wait, which soup? Was it anything
the chicken
but the
gnocchi.
minestrone has gluten?
Yeah, so chicken gnocchi. I don't like gluten either, so I try to stay away because I think, like, everybody has some intolerance to it, they say, right?
I'm just worried that with, like, RFK making America healthy, that he's going to get rid of Olive Garden.
Dude, I think Olive Gardens need to be bombed off the map. I don't like them. You like them?
I love Olive Garden. It's so bad for you, and I get bloated for, like, 3 days.
Yeah.
But it's a short-lived joy.
I always get, like, now I just get chicken marsala. You know what that is?
Oh, of course.
I love chicken marsala.
Chicken marsala.
Yeah.
That's a popular one there.
Yeah, I love chicken marsala. It's like one of my favorite dishes of all time. My mom and my dad, like, they like to cook like dinners on Saturdays. Like, usually go up north.
Nice.
To our cabin, they make dinner for themselves. If we're there, they like make it, and they started making that like their own chicken marsala, like legit. Like, so they use like their wine, make their own sauce out of that.
They make their own wine.
No, I meant like they take like wine and make the sauce, the marsala sauce with. They don't go out and to like Hy-Vee and buy like chicken marsala in a can. Mm-hmm. They make the sauce, cut up like fresh mushrooms.
Are you Italian?
Chicken. We have like my sister did a DNA test. I just thought like German, but she said like on that like Mediterranean side, like they do the test. Said like so and then like that Mediterranean, almost Middle Eastern.
Whoa.
I know, sucks, but it has like maybe some of that in there too.
You're Middle Eastern.
I hope not, but I'm just
I lived in the Middle East for 2 years.
What?
I lived in the United Arab Emirates for 2 years.
You're fucking with me.
Wouldn't lie to you,
dude. We're gonna have to keep this podcast going. I need it. What's you're fucking with me. How did Trap George live in
my mom taught English at Sharjah University, so I went to the Sharjah International School for 2 years.
That's crazy, dude. You've got such like random shit about you that I never knew. You always like tell me stuff like I would have never thought. Like, I didn't even know you did like train jiu-jitsu before you came.
I forgot about that too. I actually like hadn't thought about it for like a decade, and then it was like someone at the front desk at the academy is like, George, I see you did this tournament 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I forget stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you again other than just Colombian and white? Do you have like random
just
stuff?
No, well, I haven't taken any tests, but just Colombian and Norwegian, as far as I know.
Yeah, I
Which
need to
is
do my own because don't they like your siblings could have other stuff too? Like you have the same stuff, but like they could have more or less of the other.
well, all of my siblings have different moms. I don't really have any
Yeah.
siblings. Like I didn't meet any of I have like 4 or 5, but I
Really?
didn't meet any until I was like early 20s.
Yeah. No, yeah, I actually like for real though, like Middle Eastern food so good. Like Middle Eastern, like, where would it be? Like when I was in Thailand, we had like the buffet for the fighters or whatever. Their halal food was my favorite food out of
Really?
it. Cause like Thai food's my favorite food, but like they had like these Middle Eastern dishes that were like halal, and they were actually so fucking good, dude. Like, and I think, is it pork they can't have, right?
I think so.
Like, because it's, well, I guess you're not always Muslim if you're Middle Eastern, but like for Muslims, they have to have like certain dishes. Their food was actually really good, which you would not think. You never hear anything about Middle Eastern food.
I don't think I've heard anything
Yeah,
about it. What was it?
I don't know. Like it's like it looks like a dish of like just like some meat with like this weird like sauce on it. And my coach was like, "Hey, you should try it. It's actually really good." And I was like, "Okay." And I had like the yellow rice or whatever. Had that on top of it.
I had some yellow rice earlier today.
Yeah, you like
it?
it?
It was from a bag and I microwaved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uncle Ben is not Middle Eastern, I don't think.
You don't think so? Dude, that food was actually really good. I don't know what it was too. And then one time I was delivering to the Deluxe building in Minneapolis. And there was a guy there that gave me a dish. And it was like, he was like I don't know. He's like, I had 2 lunches. Like, that's the thing about that Middle Eastern like culture. They're like so like cool people. Like they're like just like super respectful and like for the most part, like, you know,
They love prize fighters too.
yeah, exactly. But they love to like give you things, or just like if you watch videos, like I like to watch videos of people like go to random countries, like they see you as a white person and you're trying to pay for something. They're like, "Oh, you're a visitor." No, and you're just going into a store. And actually in Thailand it was like that too. Like some like places were like offering you just like a bunch of extra stuff for free too. But like this security guard, he's like, "I had 2 dinners. Do you want one?" I was like, "No, man, no, I'm good. That's your lunch." And he's like, "No, please." He's like, you look like you look like you like food, right? You can eat this." And I was like, "I do. It looks good." And it was like a Middle Eastern dish, so good. It was like a Euro type sauce with like lamb meat and the yellow rice. It was so good. And it was just a random security guard that was just I was a little nervous eating it.
Yeah.
But just knowing how like that culture is, they're cool people and they just like want to always be nice to people.
Hell yeah.
That's why I ate it. Don't eat stuff though that you just get randomly. Like if it was a white person, I wouldn't take it. For sure. That's sketchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you were offered a food dish, would you eat it? Like just from some random person?
I guess it would, like, what's the context?
Like what I did.
down
Like
the
I
street.
literally was delivering something in a building and the security guard at the desk gave it to me.
I might take it, but like share it with someone first.
Yeah.
Make sure it's kosher.
Yeah. You
Or
didn't get
halal,
drugged.
rather.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure it's halal. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like if it was a white dude that did that, I'd be like, fucking weirdo. You probably put some like shit in here.
Yeah. But it's nice being half white and half Colombian, but white passing. Right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Because I can, I don't know, I feel like I check a DEI box.
You do.
But you wouldn't know it.
I wish I could check some DEI box. I could get away with a lot of things.
You can.
Like I bet during this. What do you mean?
You're Middle Eastern.
No, I was saying there's like a hint of like stuff over in that like area, like Greece, Italy, or it could be like Turkish area. Like it could be that my sister said, I don't know how this works. This is just what she told me. She said it could be any of this. I mean, I could maybe pass. Like, if you've ever seen me when I go, like Habib mode. Have you ever seen? Did I ever show you that picture?
What do you mean?
Like, I shave my mustache and shave the beard down to here. Dude, I pass. Like, they're like, dude, you look like a Dagestan fighter. Like, I can pass for it.
That's the most intimidating thing you can do for a fight, really.
Yeah. I did it. Like, my girl doesn't let me keep it, though. And it's like, yeah, it looks legit. I'll try to find the picture so then you can see it, because then you don't think I'm actually fucking with you, but it's...
I do like the reverse Khabib.
What's the reverse Khabib?
Just a mustache and nothing else.
Oh, dude.
Because I can't grow anything
Dude,
anymore.
for you, too, especially, though, that's the Colombian look, dude. You can get that, like, Escobar type, you know, like the...
Yeah, I remember for my first TBA, I told them, like, George isn't here right now. This is Jorge.
Yeah.
When it's time to fight, it's Jorge. And then I just went out and lost a decision. So that was the last time that I tried to do Jorge.
That's the last one?
Cornrow George seems to be on a different level, though.
Cornrow, dude. Yeah. Cornrow George. That was crazy seeing that. With the... Dude, you had a live... audience, dude. Look at that.
Holy shit,
dude! I tell
you
it.
Look like you're something.
Yeah.
I can see you look Turkish.
Yeah.
You look like you're from a stan.
Yeah, like that. Like I look like.
Yeah.
Stan, brother. Hamdulillah, brother.
So you've trained. Inshallah.
See, I could pass. Like, come on.
So
like before a fight or something, just do that.
Would you train? I mean, you've trained Muay Thai in Thailand and stuff. Like, would you go to Dagestan and just wrestle with them and just have a big beard and no mustache?
You think I could pull it off?
You
if I know, if I can guarantee my safety, yes.
Your safety cannot be guaranteed, brother.
That's a no-go, brother. Send me different location.
Yeah.
I cannot do that, brother.
Maybe like Chechnya or something.
That's worse, brother. I'd way rather be in Russia than Chechnya.
Yeah. Go to like Libya or something.
Yeah.
It's just a war-torn country. I heard there's some good training spots in Gaza right now.
Bro.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
There's going to be some good fighters coming out of there in 10, 15 years from now.
Yes. I mean, that's if... No.
Yeah.
Did you see they painted a big mural of Donald Trump in Gaza? Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't see that.
I don't know if it was good. It was all like in like obviously like Arabic writing, but they did. And they said they want peace now. Donald Trump, help us get peace. So is what the liberal media is saying. So who knows if that's true.
I don't know. I just kind of do me.
Yeah, I know you do.
That's all I can do.
What is that? What do you mean? Are you...
I just try and help people move sometimes and worry about what's going on at the academy.
Okay, yeah.
I'll call people gay on the regional scene, but I don't get too
political
big picture outside of that.
Oh, you don't really?
Not in like world events.
You into like stocks and crypto? I was gonna actually ask you that too because I know you're like a business owner. So I was wondering if you are into that.
No, I heard it's blowing up right now though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish I was super into it. Big crypto guy. Lost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
As you do. But I still held on to it because there's still like some that I'm never gonna like get rid of, like ever. Mm-hmm. So but it's such like pennies compared to like what people play with. So, but I like to watch it. I like to get into it and just.
Do you know what comparison is?
It's a thief of joy.
Indeed.
Yep.
Your pennies might be untold riches to someone in the Republic of Congo.
Actually, you don't have to guess that. It could be. It is for sure. Like if I gave them my Coinbase account, they
might be able to get a flight out.
They would get multiple flights out of there.
Or a visa or something.
They could come right here being, Oh, I don't know about now. Donald Trump's going to fucking send them back. But,
yeah.
Dude, if they could have gotten that shit, like, just a couple months ago, they would have been all G.
So do you?
So what about that election? What were you gonna say?
I was just wondering, like, Francis Ngannou's story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, do you have to go through? Like, if I was from Chechnya, would I be a better fighter?
Yes. If we were from any like third world country, we would be fucking so much better. You just have a different mindset.
Yeah.
Like when I was in Thailand, like that's such a good country too compared to like how other places have it, but it's sad, man. Like you see a lot of like sad shit there. And it's like
in Thailand?
Yeah. Like you just see how people live and you just can't help but be grateful like for like legit like being here. Like I'm serious when I say that. Like I'm so thankful to live in America.
Do you know where Mauritius is?
What?
Mauritius?
What's that?
It's an island off the east coast of Madagascar. I went there for work one time and
You've been everywhere, dude.
I saw this dog who was missing half of its face and it was still alive. Like you could just see its skull.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know why that made me think of when you just said the Thailand
That's
thing.
really sad, yeah.
But yeah, some places I would not rather be anywhere else. America's pretty dope.
Dude, yeah, especially like when you go there too and you're like, this is a good country. Like normally like people don't have it too bad, right? But then you come to America and you're like part of you wants to live there, but then a part of you is like, I can't wait to get back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sucks because I would so live somewhere out in the country, but I just know that there's no other place like America. Like it's always going to be like the fucking, you're not going to get anything. There's no benefit anywhere else. Like in terms of quality of life, I think. I mean, but you have the choice to eat our food versus getting it natural and stuff too. It's just that.
Yeah.
Because we have bad food, bad like ingredients in there, but you can control that too. You can farm, you can buy locally from farms.
Yeah. Are you a farmer?
No, I want to be.
It's tough to grow crops in a studio apartment, so I can't do that right now either. But I do buy organic turkey from Trader Joe's.
Do you ever look up like, it's like an urban farming account on Instagram or the Urban Farmer on TikTok or something? I don't know if that's their name, but they're like urban farming. But yeah, they do that.
You know who farms?
Who?
Thug Rose.
Yeah, dude. Like how she lives is like exactly what I wish I could do. Just farm, have my food, and then not even like think about going to the fucking grocery store for SpaghettiOs or whatever people eat for feed their kids.
I ate a lot of SpaghettiOs in my day.
I hate SpaghettiOs, dude. Like, I eat it sometimes, too. Like, my dad is such a kid. Like, he'll just come home with, like, random, like, kid food that you would, like, it's so weird, like, SpaghettiOs or, like, sugar cereals. So, like, sometimes, like, I'll be drunk, and then I'll be like, oh, fuck, SpaghettiOs. Heat that shit up and just eat it.
It's a waste of time.
Full serving of vegetables
just open the can and eat it. As long as there's meatballs, then it's...
You gotta heat it up, man. You can't eat it cold. I would always think that was weird when I saw kids eating cold soup. Dude, I would judge them all the time in school.
There's no time like the present.
Yeah. I hate eating cold food when if I eat warm food, I can't, like, food that's supposed to be warm, it's so hard to eat cold. Like, I hate cold pizza.
That's why
Don't even come at me with cold pizza, dude. You like cold pizza?
No. I just eat that's why I go to Quick Trip a lot, because it's always hot and ready into my face.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite gas station?
Yeah. Quick Trip.
Quick Trip.
Yeah. I'm actually a big Quick Trip guy. Like, I would know, like, when they're dropping their new burritos coming out, like, they would have a new breakfast sandwich. I'd be on that, dude. I got the fucking app, dude. I'd follow them on, like, Instagram, so I would know. Like, don't come at me with Quick Trip stuff, dude. I've laid off now. I don't eat. I'm trying to, like, not eat stuff, but, dude, one of the best... Well, the best place you can get, like, actual, like, food from a gas station is Quick Trip. Like, they make that shit there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have these, like, chicken burritos, dude. They're called, like, Chipotle chicken burritos.
Yeah.
They are so good, dude.
Damn.
Like, they're fire. They got this weird sauce in there. Super good. And it's got, like, 25 grams of protein.
kind of healthy.
Yeah, their chicken tenders, dude. Like it's if you get the 4-piece, that's like 80 grams of protein.
Really?
In the jumbo chicken tenders, yeah, it's like 20 grams a pop.
Damn.
And they're legit. They're not like McDonald's chicken nuggets, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel better when I cook my own stuff.
100%. That's why I wanted. Like I used to not, but now like when you get older, it starts just like fucking with you.
How old are you now?
24.
Yeah, you're getting up there.
Yeah, I know, right? But dude, if you're an athlete, you recognize it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like don't feel it in the moment, but it's when I get off of the healthy stuff.
Yeah. Like
And
if you that's why like I think like if I just ate better too, I wouldn't have to worry about this, but I always worry about like eating before training. Like I got to eat like I eat lunch early like at like 10:30 11. And I always eat like mostly like rice and meat and vegetables still, but I still don't like to feel like full before I train. Yeah. It's not a good feeling.
Sometimes, you know, not all the time, but if I go to like Burger King and go crazy, I'll usually not train that day.
Yeah.
You know?
That's dude, eating Burger King though and then going to train, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Like I could like I was always saying too, like I want to do like you ever seen those I forget what where they would like slam beers and then go fight each other?
Isn't that in Thailand?
Yes, but it was like a thing like I like people did that in America too. I forget what they called them. Like tough man competitions, I'm pretty sure it was called,
Okay.
right? Like yeah. But I had the idea of it's an eating contest before the fight, so the two sit down and they have to finish an eating challenge, and then in between rounds they don't get water, they get milk.
Damn. What would be the eating challenge?
I don't know. I just thought like it's got to be like I don't know what would you say, like some nuts.
I remember
like a big plate of like pasta.
Oh yeah.
Carbo load.
It's good to be really strong punches. One time I had ex-girlfriend who I had record me while I did an eating challenge.
Yeah.
There's a T-Rex burger at Wendy's. It's just 10 patties.
Yep.
It's not that crazy. But yeah, she recorded it and I did it.
How was it?
It tasted really good. The relationship didn't work out though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't it work out?
Well, we both love fast food. You know, and I won't get too specific with any names or anything, but I noticed like we would go to Burger King and then I would gain weight and she would not gain weight and still be in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out she was bulimic and she was cheating and I was absorbing all the calories.
Yeah.
So needless to say, it didn't work out.
I think the bulimia is one thing, but the cheating might have done it in.
You're gonna waste this delicious Burger King.
Yeah,
that
dude.
The Lord has bestowed it to us.
And you throw it up. That's
So,
crazy.
I don't know. I need a girl who doesn't throw up a lot.
You always got good quotes, dude. You always dropping wisdom.
It's just what it is. Once you get a little older, you find what you like and don't like in life.
Mm-hmm. Is that for you with women too?
For some aspects, yeah.
Like, have you had a lot of different women that you dated, or have you been like? Because you've been with your girl for a while, right?
I've been with my shorty now for like 2.5 or 3 years, somewhere in there, and she's only my 4th girlfriend in my life, so
pretty much keeping it low.
Yeah. But
do you got any crazy stories about girlfriends? I feel like you had some crazy women. I don't know why. I feel like you attract like bulimics and shit.
Yeah, I know. I have some crazy videos too. Like not anything crazy, but
of
it
them
was
like
pretty crazy.
Freaking out at you.
Yeah, I don't. I'll show you after this, but
Okay.
I won't get too specific. That was actually. I'm not gonna make that joke.
For you not to make a joke, man, that must be pretty.
I'm just worried that, like, well, first of all, there's no free clout, so no one's gonna get name dropped.
Yeah, don't get no names in there.
And maybe I'll drop it on this pod in the future sometime.
The story or the name?
Maybe both. I don't know.
Okay,
but I'll show you the video afterwards. I've had a few crazy experiences. Honestly, like, I feel like with my exes, like, we're mostly on good terms. Like, we just went our own ways, and
yeah.
Good luck to you, and I'll go this way. Peace.
That's how it should be.
You've just been with the girl you're with now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I didn't really like date. I didn't really have like, I mean, I did have like a girlfriend in high school before that cheated on me, and that kind of ruined shit for me.
Oh yeah.
That's what made me like, I'm gonna be just in the gym constantly. I was already in the gym though, so that's like a lie. Like, I just made that even more of an excuse. Like, I would always just like say that, like, oh no, you made me into an animal. Even though I've been dating this girl for like, it wasn't even half a year, dude. It was months. Like, we were there together for maybe like a couple months, and I was like, I just lost the love of my life. Turns out I did not love her. I just was dumb, dude. You know. That's
hilarious.
Yeah, dude. I did some fucking simp shit too with that. Like, I remember like fucking she posted even on Instagram, like, I was like at her door with flowers, dude. Fuck. Dude, I'm not even gonna say the shit. I'm starting to just fucking, oh, dude, you're gonna love this shit, dude.
Okay.
This is just fitting perfect. Dude, I did one time. Dude, this is so funny. So I was starting to train martial arts, right? I was like a sophomore when I dated this girl, right? So I started like, so I'd been like in it for like a year, you know, but I was in like the foundations classes. You guys have them there too. You see with like, do you guys have gray shirts?
We used to.
You know what that class is, what I'm saying. So it's like a separate. I was in that shit for like 6 months, dude.
Really?
At my gym. And I was like, probably because like I was like, when I came in, I was like, I'm gonna be a fighter. And like, he looked at me as some like dumb, stupid kid too. Like, the owner, he's like, yeah, that's what everyone says, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was special. But I was in that for like 6 months, so I wasn't even getting like legit like hardcore training. I was just hitting pads and then doing like you don't roll or anything. You just get shown techniques. But actually, so I had a lot of friends that were wrestlers, and one of my buddies was like a high level karate guy, but we would go into the wrestling room after school. That's where I'd practice. And he was like he like wrestled, but he was also a good like karate guy, and they did like some grappling, like jiu-jitsu stuff. It's not like, it's just like very minimal.
Yeah.
And he would just tap me constantly. Like, he was also a freak though, like natural at everything. Like, he was a really good athlete too. I'll drop his name though, Tanner Longvan. He's an animal though. He was also like I just found out he was doing security, like executive. Like, he went to the Air Force, so he was like protecting people. Like, he's also sports, like tactical shooter, super good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that guy actually kind of was the one that got me into martial arts. He would always tap me and stuff, so that's all the training I was doing. So I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't even getting experience, but
it's like your baseball wrestling matches.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't like no fighter at this time, right, either, and I was just starting. And I had been in like the actual, like, we called it the CAP program in Elk River, combat athlete. So now I'm the blue shirt, right? That's right that's when I'm starting to date this girl, right? So I'm like taking it serious. I'm like, I'm a CAP athlete now. I'm rolling, dude. I'm sparring sometimes, dude. I'm taking the shit serious, you know. So
wait, did you ever bring this girl to like watch you train?
No, I was never. I still didn't do that in these, like, so
okay,
I was never that. So like, so if you're doing that, don't do that, because
unless you're the best person there by far. Even then, it's probably not a good
don't
idea.
Even bring your girl to an MMA gym. Just don't do it. It's not a good idea.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So anyways, I say a lot of shit. Like, I just go on because I remember this stuff, but it has nothing to do. I was just trying to preface that I was still like a noob, just starting it. I was telling her I'm an MMA fighter. You know, that's just what I'm like. I'm an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
That's just what I hadn't even had a fight. So that's what she knew me as.
Yeah.
Like I would, like, if we were like watching TV, I'd turn on, like, if I saw the UFC on the channel, I'd play it and act like I know what's going on. I'm like, yeah, you know, like I watch this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, little did I know it's just like a fight replay, and I'm like, oh, the fights are on. Yeah, I knew that, but it's like some old fight.
Yeah.
So like total noob. Anyways, so there was like that trend going around where you have the water bottle in your head and someone kicks it off. You can see where this is going.
Yeah.
I had her do that. I told her to put the water bottle on her head, and I was like, I'd been doing karate too before, so I had my sparring. I knew I could kick high, right?
Yeah.
She was short, so I was like, I'm gonna do that. I fucking domed her.
Wait, was it like a Muay Thai kick, or did you spin?
No, I didn't spin. I just was just like, oh, I could do it just right on the top.
Did you hit her in the neck or the head or where?
I know you're thinking like the shin. I fucking skimmed it with my shoe on because we're outside. Just skimmed it off her head, dude. Like,
I'm surprised you could kick that high with Zoomy skinny jeans on.
yeah, this was in Zoomies days now. You know, I was getting into like, I don't even know what I'd be wearing at that time. I was just a fuck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
got the water bottle off the head though, but there was collateral there.
mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just knew she probably like cringed at it too, because she's like, I'm okay. But it was like, you know, she's like, God, this guy sucks.
And she cheated like shortly after that.
That's what did it in too, probably.
Yeah, I didn't like talk to girls much when I was fat and stuff. And then I was talking to this one girl, and like we weren't dating by any means, or like we like, I don't even know if we met in person. Like there was literally nothing, but in my head I was like, holy shit, I'm talking
to
this girl. This is like in like 10th grade or something.
And who is it? Just like someone online, or is it from your school?
Just some random chick from a school nearby.
Oh.
Like literally nothing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then I remember like one day she just stopped replying to me, and then I changed my lock screen to breakups make bodybuilders.
Oh my.
That was the beginning of my bench press arc.
You did not do that.
No, I did, but like when I was fat, I had
That's wild.
I had like big man boobs. Like people at my school would scoop you. We called it.
Yeah, dude, I had that same shit happening to me.
And I hated it. It's like passionately, I hated it because people would do it to me a lot because it was like all flabby. And then when I started weightlifting or like lifting at all, I did a lot of bench, and my bench max was like so disproportionately high to like all my other lifts. But all that to say that she inspired a fucking animal.
Yeah, dude, same with me, dude. She fucking, see, these women don't know what they do to us now. Look at us now. Like,
Yeah.
this is what happens when you females do that. You make us fucking animals. We're heartless. You make our heart of stone. We turn to martial arts. We become martial arts champions. We start podcasts. We make moves.
Yeah.
We just become a different beast.
I remember one of my homies in high school like saw my lock screen, and it was like
You can't let people see that if you do that.
No, like I didn't want him to see it, but he just saw it, and it was like, so the text was on there, and it was just like some random dude's torso, and it was like some buff dude.
That makes it so much. You had another man shirtless on there.
It was like, it didn't have his head or like anything else, like no face. It was just like a buff torso.
At the time too, you think it's the best idea, but you don't.
Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna fucking show them.
Dude, you do so much shit like that when you're younger. Like you think, and then you look back, and it's so cringy. Like jujitsu, bitch. Dude, I want to think of. Dude, I was such a cringe, like fucking little kid too. Like I used to do shit like that all the time. What, dude? I had like one time. This didn't happen, but I had a kid like bullying me.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I swear this is real. I've never told anyone this. This is how.
Exclusive.
This is so embarrassing. And it never happened, but I told my friends, I was like, next time this guy fucks with me because I don't know what the deal was. Like, he would just like fuck with me. He was like an older kid in middle school.
Yeah.
So the next time he says that, you guys just need to put up your hands and just go like this, right? Like when I say to do it, you'll know when to do it, right? and they're like, yeah, okay. And I was like being mysterious about it too. And I was like, you'll know when the time's right. They're like, we're just gonna put up our hands. I was like, yeah, you know, dude. I was gonna fucking freestyle the 8 Mile freestyle to this fucking dude. That's
like,
so bad, dude.
And then what, he'd like back down or what?
I just don't think I had the balls to do it. Or maybe, dude, some came to my head where like, maybe this isn't a good idea.
That might have been like the sickest thing ever, though. Damn. Did you have it memorized and everything?
I had that shit fucking memorized. Everybody in the 2-1-3, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me. Dude, I was going to do that shit, dude.
Wait, how old were you for that?
I was like probably 5th grade, dude. 6th grade, something like that.
Damn, that is pretty cringy.
Dude, my hands are sweating just thinking about that because it's just so fucking...
I'm sweating hearing that.
Yeah, dude. I was this close to like, oh man, if I had to have that memory of actually pulling that off in my head,
damn,
it's something people don't come back from.
Shit, I'm trying to think.
I did another thing too that was terrible. This one actually happened though.
Mm-hmm.
There was a girl everyone was obsessed with, like when we were in 5th grade. She was like an 8th grader, so it was like the end of the year. So she was gonna be like a high schooler or whatever. And we're a weird school. We're our school district. We had like east and west, right? But anyways, our 2 schools we had there, middle schools, had 5th grade in them too because we had so many kids. So usually middle school is 6th to 8th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had 5th to 8th. But anyway, so I was a 5th grader.
Yeah.
We're coming back from an assembly. And 5th grade area is all upstairs. So the whole upstairs is the 5th grade area. So we were walking up. So I thought, you know, when I said this, I thought, you know, it's just my buddies. But anyway, someone was, oh my, I almost said her name. That'd be weird if I remembered this girl's name. I can't, yeah. But so she was super hot and all the guys. And like one of my best friends, his brother was like friends with her too. Mm-hmm. So he would like, we're always like jealous. We're like, oh, was she over? No way. But anyways, oh, so embarrassing, dude. Like the hot, like it was the girl everyone, like this is something in a movie too. Like it's the one girl everyone thinks is like the hottest girl in the school at the time too. So you're like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, but dude, they were saying her name, like there was some like, oh, she's right, like saying something like that, like her name. Mm-hmm. And I go, what? Her name is where? Like I said it like that. I'm like, where is she? Or like I was like, oh, where is she? Like I thought they were pointing her out or something, or like, but she was right next to us. Like as we were going up the stairs, like because it was an assembly, so all the grades were together.
Yeah. I
didn't know she was like standing right there, dude. And a whole bunch of like older 8th graders looked. She looked. And they all just started laughing and like pointing. Dude, imagine being a 5th grader and all these 8th graders are making fun of you. Like, who the fuck's this kid? Oh my gosh. And they're like saying her name. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So my whole grade sees that too. They're like, this dude is fucking lame. My friends were like, just like ran away from me too. So I was just like sitting there after saying that.
Damn.
Does it sound as bad?
Did she interact with you or just keep walking?
I don't even remember. I think I just remember the feeling of your stomach dropping when you realize when she turns her head and she's right where you are, like right in front of you, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do because you just go like, where is she? And like you say, like you actually say her name. You're like, oh, where is she? Like you look like you're like a creep, you know? Like that's fucking weird. And I'm a little 5th grader too. Like she doesn't even know who I am.
I didn't even interact with her, but I had I don't know what to call it, an experience with the chick who was like the hottest chick in the school.
Yeah.
Also, we had 5th through 12th grade at our high school.
Yeah.
But I think I was in like...
Wait, You had 5th through 12th grade?
Yeah, we're a smaller school, so we just piled everyone in.
That's weird.
Yeah. But we had like our own wing
Yeah.
that the 5th graders were in, 5th and 6th graders. So like one of my exes was on the basketball team in high school, and the hottest chick was on the basketball team. And then it was like a really close game, and they definitely could have won. It was like they had time for like one more shot, and it was like the very end of the game. It was like almost tied. We were down by like 1 or something, and they just got a rebound, and we're gonna take it down to the other side. And I was a big class clown, and like I was fearless, and I just like stood up and was like 3, 2, 1. And then the hottest chick like shot the ball from like full court and just airballed it. Yeah. And then like no one said anything to me, but like it was pretty obvious.
Yeah,
like I just fucked the whole thing up. But like, so I don't know what to call it,
because hilarious.
We didn't even interact.
Yeah.
Like I just trolled her.
Yeah.
For no reason.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think my then girlfriend at the time probably wasn't very happy, but like she didn't say anything either, which might even be worse.
Yeah, you
like it's just everyone.
You ruined the game for her.
Ruined the game for the whole school.
So now her boyfriend is the lame dude that ruined the fucking.
I don't
Honestly
know.
though, like if I was your friend and that dude, I'd think that would be the funniest shit. Like if I was there, that's pretty fucking funny.
People cared about like the guys basketball because they like almost went
Exactly.
to state and had a good season or whatever. But I mean, it's like doing that at the WNBA game. Who's gonna care?
It's funny.
No one.
That's fucking funny shit, dude.
Whatever. So I lived through it, and I feel like I'm better for it.
Made you who you are.
It's true.
There's a lot of that does that. Like going back to like thinking about those like dude, we would ride the same bus as the high schoolers, and I think that's what I was saying too. Like these guys, like one of them had already picked me up and like threw me out of the seat because you couldn't sit in the back seat. Those were for the high schoolers, right?
Yeah.
Now looking back at it, it's like, dude, you didn't have a fucking license. You nerd. You're riding the fucking bus. Like these guys suck. But like their brother, like there were 2 twins, like hick dudes, and they were just like cigarette smoking, disgusting, like obnoxious, like high school kids. Like, you know, they didn't have friends in high school either way, so they're acting cool there. They're weird too, like just really too close for a brother relationship.
Yeah.
But their little brother was on my bus too, and we would ride to the high school to pick them up before they drop us off. Which in middle school, I should have just been walking home at this point because I was right next to the school. If I'd get on the bus, they would drive to the high school, which is on the other side of town miles, and it's like a whole hour extra because now they have to pick up the high school kids and then drop me off to my last stop because I'm by the middle school, so it didn't make any sense. So I don't even know why I was on the bus, but I thought it was bullshit, you know. Like I always like thinking back at it, I honestly think I was right. Like the teachers would say, let the high schoolers sit in the back because there was so much issue with that too, like them like throwing kids out of there. Like when I was in fucking high school, dude, I would never do that to a fucking middle school. Like that's so like, even being as cringe as I was like in high school, that's still fucking that's beyond cringy, dude. Like it's so weird, like to like pick on middle schoolers and make them move out of a seat.
Yeah,
like that's just weird. And so like I sat back there and to protest, and I remember like their brother there too, because he was in middle school, right? So before he picked up the high schoolers, he'd see me and he's like, get the fuck out of that seat, dude.
Yeah.
He was like saying he's gonna like fucking cut me and shit, and he's like gonna fuck me up, and he's like, well, my brothers are gonna come here and they're gonna kick you out anyways. So, and I just hated this kid, so I would do it just to piss him off too. And then for the longest time, when the high schoolers actually came on, I would run off and get back in my seat because like I was like scared a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I would see that kid and he'd just smile at me, and I'd look at him and be like, fuck. So one day though, I just got something in me, dude. I was like, I'm not fucking moving. This is bullshit. And I still stand. I think I was right. The teachers are telling us to do this. Like, no, this is how like fucking dictatorship happens, you know, like it's not
America.
right. So I'm pulling the reverse Rosa Parks here. So I'm sitting there and I'm not gonna fucking move because I want the back seat. I'm here first anyways. These high schoolers, they come second. Well, these fucking, they're like moving. I just was like ignoring them, putting some Eminem on my headphones too. Till I collapse, I'm spilling these raps as long as, you know.
Yeah.
This is what I'm listening to. All of a sudden, dude, they just grab my fucking coat and just drag me out and just slam me into a seat. Like, slam me. I was like fucking crying, dude.
That was your first judo match.
Yeah, I fucking failed that one. Should have also to guard their ass, dude.
Damn. So did you get bullied a lot when you were younger?
I think like probably normal, if that makes sense. And I think too, like you try to like, the problem was too, like I couldn't pick on anybody because it just never came out right either too. Like if I tried to like stand up for myself or something.
Yeah.
Like one dude would always pick on me. Dude, he pulled an 8 Mile on me actually. Dude, listen to this shit. This kid would always pick on me, like basketball. Like, dude, I think I was picked on worse by like my so-called friends.
Yeah.
Worse than anybody else. Because like some of my friends were popular, but some of them were cool, but then some were assholes, you know? So the assholes would like, I was almost getting bullied by my friend group.
Yeah.
But I was only invited outside of school to hang out with like the ones that were nice to me. But just because they were friends with like all the popular ones, they got to all hang out. So like if they weren't hanging out with them, then they'd hang out with me. So it's kind of a sad situation. But so I was the basketball team, you know? So
yeah.
This one dude was like fucking, he was just fat, dude. He was just like a fat, short, chubby kid. Was a fucking sharpshooter from the 3-point line though, dude. Like he was good though. Like it was crazy. Like a fat, short, white kid. I think he was actually like Mexican or something. But anyways, he would like fucking drain 3-pointers. So he was like the starter. Like, and he was like, his dad was like rich. And he would like say that shit too. He's like, because his dad was like the Minnesota Gophers basketball coach.
Oh.
Like one of the not the head coach. It was during like when, I probably shouldn't say that, then people would figure it out. But this kid was a shit. Him and his other siblings were shitheads to my girlfriend's brother too. I found out because they lived next to each other. But anyways, this dude was a shithead to me, and then I like I said, I was gonna like, you know, I was like, fuck this guy's fat, you know, I'm gonna fucking bully this guy. So like I would, yeah, because he was always like saying shit to me like I sucked, which I did. So valid point at basketball, and like just like always like, but I was like done, dude. So, and he started taking it outside of like basketball practice. So it was like in school, just being a fuck to me.
Wait, you were in basketball?
Yeah, I did basketball till like 9th grade.
Damn.
I'm a baller.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I like was saying something. I was like, you know what? Screw you, man. Like, I don't know what I said, but I finally did something. And then he like I said, did an 8 Mile on me. He's like, what? I'm fat? You're going to call me fat? Yeah, I'm fat. Huh? Yeah. I'm short too. What? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm draining 3-point. I'm a fucking, you start and then you're on the bench. What? And I'm like, damn, I remember I just sat there and I just couldn't do anything. Like, he just like pulled all the cards out that I was going to say to him and said,
yeah.
And I was like, damn.
He beat you to it.
Yeah. I was like, yep. But
Damn.
He's one of those kids too that like actually would be like, my dad's rich, and like rub it in your face. It was weird. And you know what sucked too? His mom and my mom were like good friends too. Like on like the basketball team, like they would always hang out and talk to each other. And she's like, you should hang out with him more. And I was like, yeah, fucking right. I also got bullied by this one dude who I would take to basketball practice. He was my neighbor. This fucking sad dude. Like, he would like in the game, I'd be like, come on guys, let's go. I'm on the bench. He'd get off from playing too. So then he would hear that and he goes like, you ain't fucking doing anything for this team. And then I'd be like, damn. Like, just feel like shit. And I'm like thinking, I fucking drove you here, man. Like, his parents just like neglected, would never like take him anywhere. They were like, they never drove me anywhere. We always took him everywhere. And like, yeah, he would like say, I hated this guy though too, because like, I just thought he was just I didn't like him one bit, dude. And because I would imagine doing that, dude, like, he's all nice in front of your like your parents and everything. But dude, once you're like outside of the car, like I drove you here, and during the practice, I remember he like threw a ball like really fast at me, and it was like, so I would drop it, and he was like, wow, like I messed up the play. And after the game's over, or after the practice or game's over, we're both waiting for my parents to come pick us up. Like, you just like, it was like that mob mentality, dude. Like, I understand that shit's real because, you know, it's just like, once they're alone with you, they're fine. But then when they get to a big group and they single you out, they're going to fucking just feed on you with other wolves.
So were you like the punching bag then, or what?
Yeah, for sure. Especially on the basketball team. They all suck, dude. They're a bunch of like it's basketball too. They're just a bunch of assholes that play basketball. And those fucking parents were too, dude.
Oh, yeah.
All, like, everyone on that basketball in St. Michael, anyways, for my team, anyways, but they were just such fucking douchebags. Like, dude, I literally was just talking about this with my girlfriend. I despise like so many kids on that team.
Yeah.
Did you have any of that?
Not basketball issues, but
yeah,
I got bullied a lot for
you
sure.
Did?
I was a fat gamer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got bullied a bunch by the older kids mostly.
I think that's what did me in too, because I would hang out like with the sports guys, or like maybe they're more popular. Like, some of them are cool, like actually my friends.
Yeah. But
they, like I said, they're in that group, so there was assholes in there. But then I also had my major friend group that no matter what, like, I'm always invited to wherever all of them are. Uh-huh. They were like gamers, like didn't play sports. Yeah. Those were like the main guys I hung out with outside of like them. So I would like, you know, bounce around.
Yeah, I wish I don't know how it would be possible, but I wish I could like go to high school for like a week.
Yeah.
And just like allow people the opportunity that bullied me then to bully me now. Because I'd probably just like switch kick.
Yeah. And I will say though, like, a lot of kids, like, once I was in high school though, like, I felt like actually like our grade of like people that I thought were like assholes, I felt like they matured in high school. There wasn't like much bullying. I think too though, like I said, like being like, you're in high school and like we're St. Michael, like our wrestling thing, like a lot of kids didn't fuck with people because like wrestlers, like they knew the wrestlers are gonna fuck you up, and they understood that, I feel like too. Mm-hmm. Like, it was weird, but there was definitely some shit in high school. Most of mine was like bullying in like middle school.
Oh yeah. I actually switched high schools my senior year.
Because of bullying?
No, not because of bullying.
Oh.
It was actually because of wrestling, because my original high school sucked. And then we went to state as a team my senior year, and I went individually. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was just mostly older kids that would pick on me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, they just would always just be like
you
wouldn't do anything and they just on you?
So I wouldn't have to do anything. They would they'd pick on me, but I was also like obnoxious in classes. Like, I was a big class clown, and I got in trouble a lot in high school. But like, it's like knock your books out of your hand when you're walking by.
They actually did that shit?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
For sure. No, there was a few people that were like more bullies than the rest.
Yeah.
But it's like looking back, it's like they're so like just skinny dudes. Like, I probably could have just beaten them up then. But I just allowed it to happen.
Yeah, and then like for me, so I guess middle school too, like not middle school, I guess high school too, like I guess some people knew like I like was training. I got my first fight though, like not until like senior year, but beyond that, like I think I just acted like a little more out there and like just started like getting in the face of people too, and then just like willing to fight people. Like, it started out with like people like, I don't know, that were like cocking off. Like, one guy said he was like I don't know, like he did like Taekwondo or something, and I was just like acting like Mike Perry. Like, that's all I was doing, is just doing a performative act, acting like a crazy, like, because you say, I'll kick you. Like, so I was just like, let's do it now, huh? Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not, like, looking back, that kid definitely was just fucking trolling and punking me. I definitely deserve that one. He wasn't like bullying me, but he would always like demean me. He was actually a huge kid. Like, this kid was a super nerdy, like terrifying dude in terms of like wore trench coats.
Oh,
was like a weirdo, you know, like
we had a few of those.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I never put the trench coat on. I was just fat. And
he was a strange guy too. But this dude had like looking back then, dude, I probably like, because he talked about how he was such a good Taekwondo guy, and he did it at like the strip mall up there. So like I thought that was nerdy. I was like, fuck that. And like, because he was like trying to like make it seem like it was like sparring footage. And if I remind me to show you the sparring footage, it's on YouTube. And like I was like showing people in class. So already I'm if he decided to bully me, I deserve this, I guess. But
is your sparring footage?
Yeah.
Nice.
With Tanner, and he knew Tanner because the dude I was saying before.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like already like everyone in school feared him because there's videos of him knocking out women. Actually, the one video was a woman because, you know, in competition in karate, I guess when you're not in adult divisions, you go again. So there was a video of him spin kicking and knocking out a woman. So like everyone was scared of him too, because he was like a killer dude. Like he would fuck up. Like he actually legitimately like messed up a lot of like the guys at Elk River when he joined.
Oh,
like
really?
some like the like there's a big like he didn't fight, but he was like 6'2", 3, like been doing Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu for a long time, and Tanner like bloodied his nose up. Tanner was actually like a legit like karate guy, like not one of those fake ones. Like he was on the karate team USA and went to Ireland to fight for them when he was a kid.
Is Tanner the trench coat guy?
No, he's just my friend, but it was footage of that, so I was getting my ass kicked from Tanner. And this kid, the trench coat kid, was making fun of that. I was like, well, you're not Tanner. And he's like, and he talked like a Reddit dude. I've always wanted to test my skills upon Tanner. Oh, he wore fingerless gloves too. I've always thought it'd be a good match, but I'd get him. Like, you know, he would talk like that. Anime watching dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he would just like say shit like that, and I was like, fuck this. Like I was just like, this is what I have to do because I'm a fighter, so like this is my new. And I was just like starting out too, so I was like, this kid probably could have kicked my ass, honestly. He was a fucking like 6'5" dude. His foot, I remember, like looked weird as fuck because he had such big feet. So maybe if he was fast and he could fucking do like a spinning side kick to my face, he'd probably fucking dome me actually at that time. But I still think I could have just fucking choked him. And he was like, I do jujitsu too there. And I was like, that's not legit. And we would always argue about that. It was pretty dumb. But looking back now, like I definitely knew he was like punking and just trolling me, just trying to get me mad. And he would say that too. He's like, look at you, man. Can't control your anger. Like I seriously mean like this is how he talked, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. Never knew what was under that trench coat every day I walked in, and I started like thinking about that too. But he was actually pretty like normal dude. He's not.
So did you get in like any high school street fights or anything?
No, I actually didn't. Like a lot of like I was gonna like I had some like times where I was like getting heat, but people didn't actually want to fight me.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't that skilled, but like it's just like
you train.
Yeah, you start like in like they knew. Like I was training with my buddy Tanner. Like everyone was always like, "Oh, that kid's a animal." A lot of them too. Like there's a lot too that like were skeptic. Like they just didn't want to try it too.
Yeah.
Like, but I like was like super calmed down. Like I was like a stoner, so I didn't really like give a fuck about anything. I didn't care about.
You smoked weed?
Yeah, like a lot. That's like all I did.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like a problem.
Damn.
Yeah, so I wasn't like that, but there's been a couple times where I went like crazy in the hallways, and people like it was like. Do you remember like Yik Yak? Do you remember that app?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you could just like say shit, and there's a kid. This kid still pisses me off, dude. And he was like just a femboy, dude. Like I won't say anything. It just I was so pissed. Like he posted something about my sister in there. Mm-hmm. Like he was like,
isn't Yik Yak anonymous?
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying this is like I got all crazy and I was like, I'm gonna track down who did this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's an anonymous thing in that area.
Yeah.
I can't believe I remembered that name, dude. Every time telling
surprised.
stories, I can't remember that app, and somehow I just remembered it. But he posted something like, would you fuck Andy to fuck his sister? Yeah. And so I was like, who the fuck did this, dude? I was getting crazy, dude. I remember like at lunch too, I just like slammed my fist on the table and walked out. I was just like so pissed. I don't know why, because I think maybe because like a lot of times too, like nobody was fucking with me for a while. Like I was just like, and then when I see that, like who the fuck had the balls to do that? You know, like I was just pissed. So I figured out who it was. Somebody like told me who it was. Like they're like, oh, I know who did that, and I didn't even know who it was. Like I had to look him up. And it was at the end of the year too. Like this was literally the last days of like junior year.
Yeah.
I had to look in a yearbook for this dude. This is how wild I got with it. And I was like, who is it? And I was so worried I was gonna get the wrong dude, because there's like I didn't know who it was. And then I remember somebody like came up to my locker. Turns out this dude's locker's right by mine too. Oh. So not smart.
Perfect.
Or his friend was. I don't know. But yeah, so somebody just randomly came up to me when I was in my locker and they're like, that's him, he's coming down the hallway. That's that guy that said that. And they just like ran away. Like I don't even remember who that guy was. Like people just like, there was like, I think a word got to him too already.
Yeah.
And so dude, I just like, teachers were walking and like, it was like, I didn't care. Like the hallways were flooded and I just yelled his name. I was just like, his name was not Alex, but I'll just be like, Alex.
Yeah.
And he was like, and immediately he was like shivering, dude. Like he was like all like shaking. And I was like, what? You think that's fucking funny? I was like, you think that's fucking funny, huh? You talking about, I don't remember what I said, but I'm like, keep my fucking family and my name out of your goddamn mouth. And he was like, okay, you want me to delete it? And he's like stuttering too. So for a minute,
for sure.
Oh yeah, he said he deleted it in front of me. Like he's like, do you want me to delete it? Like he's stuttering. So I actually felt bad about this. Like I thought I took it too overboard. And I was like, yeah, fucking delete it. And then like this is making a scene. So he did, and like everyone went to the classes, and I sat there and watched him delete it. Like that's how like. To be honest, it's not that big of a thing, but I didn't know him. Like, it's not like buddies. So I thought it was weird, and I thought I crossed the line. And I thought it was some guy, like, trying to fuck with me. Yeah. And, like, punk me. And during that time in, like, high school, too, I think I just got, like, way too, like, insecure. And I didn't want, like, anyone to, like, punk me because I had a fragile, like... I had this image of myself as, like, a UFC fighter, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You can't fucking touch me. Like, so it's just, like... So doing cornball shit like that. And I felt bad actually for it. I was like that might have been OC. Like that might have been way overkill for that situation. But then the next, like at the end of the day, dude, and this is like again the end of the year, right? So this is like the last day of school, right? He's at a locker and I hear him say my name, and he's at his friend's locker, which is right next to mine. And he's like, and I like ear to ear, and I'm listening to what he's saying, and he's like making fun of me or like mocking what I said to him. Like he's like, oh, like that.
Yeah.
And I just like slammed my locker and I looked at him because he was on the locker across me. And I was like, really, motherfucker? Really? I'm right here. And he's like, and he like rolled his eyes and like walked away. And I was like, and then I walked into the hallway, dude, and started shouting as he's walking away. Like, if you think this is where like the overkill on this ends, it's not either. Like this, yeah, it's. I was like, yeah, motherfucker, keep walking, keep my fucking name out your mouth. And I was like, as he was like walking away too, and I'm screaming this again in the hallway, making another scene.
Did you guys not have teachers at the school or what?
Yeah, we did. And the first time I did it, there was like a teacher watching it. But what teacher didn't, this was the last day of school though. So
they're
keep
like,
this was literally
we'll just let it.
yeah, but
go.
like this last one was literally as we're leaving our junior year, so we're not coming back the next day. I was like, you acted like a little bitch before, now you're gonna say all this shit right now, talking all that shit, and then you just walked away. So, but then fast forward, now this time, I don't know if I feel bad. I just don't like the way, I still don't know if I feel bad because, like, I feel like I was standing up for my sister. But maybe I went over. But then when he was, like, mocking me, too, that's where I was like, we're not cool. Like, that's, like, then now you're trying to punk me. Now, I really punked him this time. This was fucked up. This was really fucked up that I did this, I think. Maybe this is the one where it's out of control. But I don't know, man. Because you can't do that shit and then not expect repercussions. You know, like, I don't... You're still old enough to realize, like, we were, like, 16, 17. Like, I wasn't... Like, if I said something, like, I still would expect to face the facts, right?
Right.
When it comes to not being online or social media. So we're at my buddy's house. His dad had moved into like a mansion, like a big house on the golf course in St. Michael, and had a pool. So we were all at the pool party thing. Like, it was like, I think it was just like mostly dudes and like a couple chicks. So it was like fucking sausage fest. It wasn't even a cool place to be at, you know, like it was the kid's house. The kid was weird too. So don't get me wrong. He was a weirdo. So it was like, it was not a lot of hot chicks were there, or it was lame. But
yeah,
so when I say like pool party, it was not really, it was like more just like a hangout. But we were like drinking and stuff, and like then like these other people came, like, hey, they're coming, no, like, cool. And they're like, dude, Alex is gonna be there though.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, he's with them. And I was like, no, motherfucker, no. I'm like, dude, if he comes in here and he thinks he's going to do that, we're either going to fight or they're leaving. And he's like, okay, I'll let him know. So then they came, and he actually came with.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow.
He's ready to fight.
Yeah, and the guy had like a fenced-in yard. And I was like, and I was drunk too, so I was already like drinking, smoking.
Oh shit.
This was during a time too where like this guy I was with too, like, it was a mess, like a lot of under the influence. So I was like, so I saw, and I just was immediately like filled with rage, and I just like immediately when I saw him, I didn't even like. It was just on like that, and I was like. He was like, you talk about my fucking bloodline like that. I remember like what I kept saying, that's my blood. That's my blood, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, and I was like, we can either go out there, we're either going to get out of this fence, we're going to fucking fight right here. We're going to do this right now because that's what you want to do. It's like you acted all tough and you were like mocking me too. Didn't think you'd see me. Now we're here. We're going to settle this now. You can come in, or you're not coming in here and you're going to go sit your ass in the car. And he turned to his friend and he asked for the keys, and he went and sat in the car while they all hung out there, and he just sat in the car. Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out, dude.
Shit.
And I remember like this is my jujitsu bitch moment after that.
Yeah.
I like grabbed a beer, whatever, like slammed it. I said, whoa, let's party.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that shit happened.
Do you think he still remembers it?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't, like I said, I'm like borderline if I wonder like if I should apologize ever, like if I ever like if I went too far, because he sat in, we hung out there all night. He just fucking sat in the car, you know, like, or
damn,
because it was either that or like, and it wasn't like I was bluffing either, like, and then this kid too, like looking at him,
yeah,
like he's not fucking harming a, like he would just get like he was like a like.
Yeah,
scrawny, like he was not gonna fight in, like So obviously the choice was not to fight ever, because it was, I don't know maybe if I should, because I still think it was fucked up what he did, and then he still was like trying to mock me and like make fun of my sister and shit. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Kind of like one way or the other. I don't know. What do you think? What's your opinion? It's pretty much how the story went down too. So
Did you have any interactions after that? Like in
Nope.
following years? That was the last time you ever saw him?
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Well, have you ever seen the movie Happy Madison, I think it is? What's the one where he goes back to school?
Is that Happy Madison?
I don't know. It's the Adam Sandler movie where he like it's like towards the end of the movie tries to right all of his wrongs and calls someone he bullied in high school or something.
I don't think I've seen it, because I don't think I've seen Happy Madison.
Well, what I'm saying is, did a lot of people pick on him?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. 'Cause
He was kind of like a self-inflicted dork, though, kind of, if that makes sense. I don't think he was picked on. Maybe he was. But I wasn't picking on him, though. Because he was like... I never talked to the dude before. Like, I wasn't like... I didn't even know who he was. I had to look in a yearbook.
Yeah.
But anyways, what you're saying, so...
Well, we never really know how certain interactions, like what other people think about it, or if they carry it still.
Yeah.
I know that, like, if I saw some of my high school bullies, like, I wouldn't just punch them, but I'd be like, you're a fuck you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I was, like, bullied by people, too, so I don't think I did too much bullying.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I tried to, it didn't work out.
No, it sounded pretty epic, though.
That one, maybe. That was like... that's when the arc started happening, you know? I started finding my own.
Yeah, no. When I got to college as a freshman, that's when I was like, I thought I was super hot shit.
Yeah.
Because I was a D2 wrestler, which is hilarious because I was so bad in college wrestling.
Yeah.
I was like the bottom of the heap, but I thought I was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might still remember it. Maybe one day you'll decide you want to, or maybe you'll realize he had it coming.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what to do.
Hopefully it's the latter.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Happy Madison, though? What?
Oh, in the movie, he calls one of the guys he bullied as kids, and then the guy takes out a list and crosses his name off of it. Like, he just had a list. And then at the end of the movie, he, like, shoots the guy that's trying to attack him. So he, like, saved him because he called and apologized.
Damn.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'd see where he's at. If he's, like, if he has a trench coat on in his profile picture, you might want to make amends.
Yeah.
He also might die. What if he died? Would you feel like you should have said something?
If he died, I would feel bad. I think it would turn to me actually feeling bad, and I don't think I would actually... I don't think I would say... I wouldn't think that I should have reached out, but I would definitely feel bad.
Yeah.
Just because I'd be like, oh, well, that sucks, and I don't like hearing when people die, so... But I would definitely feel bad. It would turn from, like, me justifying it to, like, oh, we don't tell that story anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's always some stories you just...
Or when I tell it, then I'd make myself look like the bad guy and be like, I did this really fucked up thing one time. Because then you don't speak ill of the dead. That's what I believe.
That's a good point.
But he's alive. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I hope he's got a good life, but don't fucking do that.
Keep your blood out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my bloodline.
Damn. Well, so that was a pretty epic moment. Let's party. The 8 Mile freestyle. There's been some epic moments here today. We're at like 4 hours. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That went by pretty fast.
Jeez.
So, thank you so much for being here today. I'd like to send you off with this.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And then there's probably going to be not many viewers, but if you want to drop your socials or where to reach you and follow you at, feel free to.
Yep. Social securities, all that.
Yeah.
8. So, Andy Kiecker. pretty much for everything. If you want to get Facebook, I only have Instagram really, I guess. So it's just Andy Kiecker, no underscores, KIECKER.
Let's go. Let's party.
Let's party.
Thank you,
Jiu-jitsu,
Andy.
bitch.